This week, Pen continues to go through the mystery horrors while putting herself and everyone around her at risk, ending with her in the hospital and unemployed. Yikes.
We're back in the club with a curly-haired bisexual and a doe-eyed gay man who does not want to be there, while the ghost of all the things she said plays in our minds. The rivalry between Eddie and dating women is getting heated.
That's our heated rivalry.
Buck goes on a date and hooks up separately with a man and a woman who turn out to be married and invite him to be a third. But Buck turns them down because he's still learning how to be a half. Interesting stuff.
Have you ever watched something that completely rewired your brain chemistry?
A procedural network drama might not be your usual pick, but it's ours.
This is the Buddie System, a 911 yapathon hosted by three friends who have DM'd each other enough character dissertations to earn a PhD in media literacy.
I'm Han, coming to you straight from the characters' heads.
I'm Sil, bringing you to the observation deck.
And I'm Rachel, connecting the dots with my red string.
With our powers combined,
no stone is left unturned.
And no buddy is left behind.
This is our 5th special episode covering Season 9. And today we're talking about
Season 9, Episode 7, titled Secrets, written by Lindsay Bolio, directed by John J. Gray, and the director of photography was PJ Russ.
Russ Dog.
We're so embarrassing.
Why do we specifically always imprint on the director of photography?
Because they're the coolest, actually.
Because they make everything look pretty.
They do
That's
make
true.
everything look pretty. And for people who are very, like, visual and, kind of artistically inclined,
Fair.
That is, yeah.
Well, anyway, welcome back to 911 Season 9 current coverage. We missed you. And if you heard us on live stream after this episode aired saying that we were going to do a special that was episode 7 and 8 combined, no, you didn't. That never happened.
Listen, we had priorities.
Was liar told you that.
Well, the thing is I made a comment about how, like, well, 8 and 9 are like a two-parter, so like that would make sense to do together, but we were kind of waiting to see like when the next break was going to happen for the Olympics, because like we didn't want to do one episode here, then do like 8 and 9 and then have 10 air by itself and then have to cover one more episode by itself. But because 10 and 11 are going to air and we can do this two together, that just...
It works out for us because we also have so much to say about this one.
We have 11 pages of notes. So we hope you're comfortable and that you have a beverage and a snack.
Get cozy.
Get your wine out. Break out that wine.
Yeah.
Break out that adult juice.
Choose joy.
Choose joy. This episode brings me joy.
It does.
So much joy.
Yeah,
so I guess we'll just hop right into our review. So what worked well, guys?
All of it.
Everything. Okay, seriously. I mean, I like that it opened up with it being again. Oh my god, it's so Buck and Eddie focused for me right now. Like everything that I'm going to talk about is mostly going to be Buddy focused. But
that was the majority of the episode.
Sorry, Hen.
Just as a disclaimer.
Disclaimer that the Buddy
system is focused
on the buddy
stuff. Yeah, okay. Listen,
Shocker.
we're a serious podcast, okay?
It's true.
So, no, I really love that it opened up with, like, I guess, like, kind of like a red herring storyline. Like, this was supposed to be about Eddie, but it ends up being about Buck. And I like that what we started with Eddie wasn't resolved by the end.
Yeah.
And, like, Buck kind of ends up in the same position that Eddie is in, or kind of just like in square one in terms of like what he wants in relationships and stuff like that. So like I really enjoyed that, and again, like I think we're gonna focus like going forward other like little sprinklings here and there of this storyline that was that opened up for Eddie.
Yes, I think they're laying a lot of really subtle groundwork here for an Eddie storyline that, even if it doesn't end up being like an A storyline in an episode, is kind of going to be a through thread throughout a lot of these episodes, and it will like amount to a significant storyline.
Is it even subtle?
No,
because I think this is like main audience can pick up on this shit
Dude, we've got 905 and 907 staring at us in the face. I'm like, I know what you are.
They're building.
If they also remember 806, it's like,
like it's so apparent to us that they're building up to something significant, but they're really taking their time to do so. And I appreciate that. I love a slow burn. This is not news. Like, it doesn't have to be a romantic slow burn. I just love like a build that makes sense.
I guess something I really liked that worked really well for me, and I think all of us, is that this episode aired the same day that we put out our first Eddie queer coding special that was specifically about his dating life. And every single thing that we brought up in that episode is portrayed, and it's like, if we were going to have a thesis like statement of like portrayed on the screen of all of the things that we talked about in that, like, I think 2-hour episode,
it would be 907.
This 907 episode.
Which is crazy. I know. It's like, and we'd had that episode planned for a while.
Yeah.
And we were just like, let's put it out this day as our last special. It'll be the day that
we come back.
We come back from hiatus. And it's just like, I think we were just like so taken aback by like, we think we have good points. That's why we put out an episode like that. But it was just like, while we were watching, we were like, oh my God, we literally just spelled this out in a 2-hour episode. And it's just like, we couldn't have planned that better.
There was a fear, like, I think when we found out that Buck and Eddie, I don't even really know what we found out exactly, but I know there was like spoilers and we were like, oh,
this is the gym scene spoiler. Yeah. Like, we had got that script and we knew that he was hooking up with like a man and a woman, that they were going to the club.
And I think it was coming off of the back of the whole like speed dating rumors. Yeah. So like people were like, oh, they're going to make Eddie get a girlfriend again. So after doing all the research for our dating is performing episode, because I literally went in and watched like basically all the like Eddie and his relationships, like the episodes.
Yeah, you put in the work.
I really did. And with all that evidence compiled and doing the episode, recording the episode, I remember one of you guys asked if, like, for real, if they're going to get Eddie, like...
It was part of our Best Buddies mini segment, was like, I think we did ask, like, is that actually a thing that's going to happen? But I think in the Best Buddies segment, we were like, hey, if there is another female interest, this is how it could be good for Buddy. But it wasn't something that we thought was going to happen specifically.
Yeah. Like, that's my point. Like, I didn't think so. I remember we had this conversation briefly and I was like, after talking about all of this, no.
It was just kind of like, we'll talk about how it could still be good for Buddy, like, just because it could still be, right. But also just as like we know some people were worried about this, like that it looms that if there's a romantic interest for Eddie, that they're trying to kill Buddy again or something. So
like, we were just exploring the possibility, if it were to happen, this is how it could like spin it into a positive. But yeah, I think we were also just like, with everything that we talked about, it's not likely. And I think that's underlined even more so because of 907.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I think we all like being proven correct because we like we were proven correct, but I think it really is a testament of our I hate to I don't know be too
toot our own horn.
Yeah, basically.
It's tooting our own horn, but I think it's tooting the consistency of the show and like how consistent they plan and write it out. Because like all of our observations are based off of what they're giving us.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I you know, if I say so myself, I think we have a very good read on this character specifically.
as we're not secretly evidented. Called the Eddie System for no reason.
The Buddie System is about Buddy, except when it's about Eddie.
Yeah.
Which is always.
Yeah. Because we're also about Buck, which is about Eddie. So
yeah.
It always goes back there.
But we digress.
Anyways, if you haven't listened to that episode, it makes a wonderful companion to just rewatch 907 and then listen to our Queer Coding Dating is Performing episode, because it works very well in tandem.
And if you're feeling so spicy, you can ask me for a full list of any episode that Eddie has a relationship in. You know what I mean? Because I have a list.
You do.
You have a master doc at this point, basically, from those notes.
You have a PhD.
I have a PhD. Exactly. I was like, I already have a whole thesis. I could write a whole essay. Actually, I think part of it is an essay.
Part of it actually is an essay.
I love being right.
So what else did we like about this episode other than the fact that it validated our episode?
I think I was pleasantly surprised at the club music, because I remember going into this episode and I was like, there's only one thing I really know other than the spoilers. It's that the club music is going to be bad, because almost on every network show like this, when they're in a club, the music is bad. Like, it's just like the worst stock dance music you've ever heard.
Because it's always just added in post.
Yeah, exactly. But like the first of all, the songs were not distracting, because sometimes that happens and the music's so bad that I can't focus on the scene. Right? So it wasn't distracting. It fit the vibe. And then actually the lyrics of the first song that's playing in that club were very Buck and Eddie to me. So
yeah.
I love how I wrote all this and then didn't write down the name of the song.
Oops.
I think it's called When You Kiss My Body. When You Kiss My Body by an impronounceable name. DVRVIX, an evil droid. Incredible. Okay, so the lyrics that I want to just mention.
I'm trying.
No, I'm not even going to try to say it. Okay. I like the way that you're moving. I like the way that you're moving round my system. You got the touch and I give into the rhythm. I want to know, do you feel it in the friction? And I'm like, this is what Sil has said like several times while we prep for this episode, that they were doing the Comp-Het Tango. And I'm like, this is it. These lyrics are them doing the Comp-Het Tango. I like the way you're moving around my system. You got the touch and I give into the rhythm. I want to know, do you feel it in the friction? And it's like, the thing is that like,
they're orbiting around each other.
That whole scene, the only people who have friction in the club scene are Buck and Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
They're the only people who have like chemistry, friction, like back and forth. You know what I mean? Like the kind of stuff you'd expect to see like in a club scene. It's all between Buck and Eddie.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, the Comp-Het Tango.
And what was the... I can't wait for you to talk about that later. What was the other one, too?
Oh, right. So the other needle drop during when they were fucking, it was after the date was over. Because I remember there being an aggressive needle drop from the song that you really liked into 9 Inch Nails' Get Down, Make Love. Yeah.
I'll talk about that in a second.
I thought it was the same song. Right? From the club to them.
No. Different song.
No.
Different song.
It's Get Down, Make Love, probably only because they probably couldn't play Closer.
Closer?
Which is I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal, that one. That's the like one 9 Inch Nails song that most people know.
Yeah, I
so
don't
like
think
I really appreciated this because I love 9 Inch Nails and I think that was a good song. It was just like an aggressive. Like, whoa, the vibe has shifted.
There's a lot of aggressive things happening in this episode, which I will talk about in the Comp-Het Tango. Just FYI. But it's just so telling that they also put this in you know, when Buck is out dancing with his two dates. Well, separately, of course. But
dancing with his dates.
Well, dancing is
is a euphemism. There will be more of those as well.
Yeah, well, I was just going to critique his dancing, but you know what? Yeah, you're right. Let's move on.
No, that's hilarious, actually. Our chirp of the week, if we were doing our heated rivalry.
Oh my God, yes.
Is the dancing.
Yeah, the
literally dancing. Just drunk.
You know,
like,
if we were doing the chirp of the week, it would be Buck this, Buck that, Buck.
Every week.
Every week.
Yeah. Sometimes Eddie would catch a stray.
Yeah, he'll catch a stray.
Yeah, but normally because of his Comp-Het bullshit.
Yeah.
Which we'll also get into. Anyway, moving on.
Also, I did think it was really interesting that they put 2 songs for the club and like afterwards that had lyrics, because usually I think they would just like put some sort of like house techno music. Atmospheric without lyrics. So I think the fact that they chose like a lyrical song is interesting as well. But speaking of songs, they did the the 911 music department did the funniest thing possible during Buck's 2 dates with both Jade and Zane. You know, it was kind of like montaged together before they got to the club or anything like that. But while they were eating dinner, they put the wedding processional music underneath the dates as foreshadowing. It's incredible. I was rewatching it and I was just like listening to it because, you know, the first time we were watching it, we were all screaming. So, you know, couldn't really pick up on that. It's fine. But I was listening to that and I was like, no, they didn't. And it's
not to be confused with the actual wedding march, though. It's the
wedding party.
It's
music.
like when it's
the soft
people are going down the aisle. I think it's like the Canon D major or something. Canon in D major by Pachel Bell or something. But I just thought that was hilarious because that is intentional foreshadowing from the music to indicate this is a married couple and they weren't siblings actually. And I just like I really appreciated that very subtle.
Yeah, because that would have been the hint. Yeah,
it's so subtle, like, and they kind of like jazzed it up because you hear mostly like this kind of jazzy like little drum, like, but it's there and it cracked me up. It like I had to pause and be like, no way. It was amazing.
God, if we weren't screaming, we would have been like, they're a couple.
Also the lighting in the club scenes, all of the club scenes. Thank you, PJ Russ.
Beautiful.
Like that like blue lighting, but also the very bisexual, like red, pink, purple, blue lighting.
Not many times that we've had the chance to do bisexual lighting on this show, but
they had the opportunity. They took it, and it's like got to be so hard to light a club well, especially with that much color. But like they did a great job. It's so fascinating.
I also didn't have time to play not that I didn't have time because I did very painstakingly go through and pause on every single one of Eddie's facial expressions. So actually, maybe I can say this with confidence. I saw someone notice this, but I was like, is it true that the lighting on Eddie is always blue?
Always like pure blue.
Interesting.
And Bucks is the one where there's a lot more
blue and red
in there and purple and but Eddie is like primarily bathed in the only blue light. It's wild. Like there's like a little bit
crazy
here and there, but I love the lighting. I love when we get like really creative, like intentional and very colorful lighting. I think PJ Russ does a really great job with like lighting and shadows specifically.
I agree. Yeah. So thankful for that.
I do really, since you're just talking about the lighting, the blocking in the club is really, really good too at like building again the tension that was between Buck and Eddie and what was going on there. I really enjoyed the blocking. They got a lot of really cool different angles.
Yeah,
that allowed us to see like different like POVs when it was Eddie's and Buck's, and also loved the blocking in the firehouse scene at the end. But we'll talk about that later. But just aces for the blocking in this episode.
Yeah. Speaking of focal points, I really love the extreme close-ups on Eddie because you can see him basically disassociate a lot in this episode, and it's just good to kind of put yourself in his shoes to like see what he's feeling, or you know, I don't know. It's just really good. And then I'm so thankful for that gratuitous gym scene that we got. It is so funny.
Blessings upon your house.
Lindsay Bolio, let us give you your flowers.
Oh my God.
Where can we send the edible arrangement? Yeah, just loved it.
I don't have notes on it. I have notes on it that we will be discussing later down through this episode, but it's a good scene. It's just a good scene.
I guess
and
also
hilarious.
Specifically wardrobe and makeup department.
Whoever was in charge of spritzing them down. Great job.
They were so shiny.
The artful, strategic spritzing. Incredible work.
Okay, bonk. Let's move on.
Go. We need a buzzer.
What, a horny jail buzzer?
Yeah. We've been watching a lot of heated rivalry. Like, whatever.
It's true. Whatever. I don't know. we weren't the ones whoring them out. We're just watching it.
Yeah.
The intentional whoring them out.
Yeah.
Crazy work, actually.
I know what audiences want to see. Not like us audiences, general audiences.
Also, just like side note, this was like one of the horniest episodes of 911 ever.
Oh, yeah.
The
It
horniest.
is the, yeah, like not our fault.
No.
Just pointing it out. Yeah, so in addition, this is also might be one of the funniest episodes of the show ever, actually, with all of the euphemisms and the winks. And it's just like the more we watched it on Thursday all together, we were laughing a lot. But I think as we rewatched it, there's just like even more to like dig into because of all of the euphemisms and the cheeky little like hee hee ha ha's.
And it's just so funny. And we just love an insane Buck plot. So that's just always going to be funny. Like we're hee hee ha haing like right along with Eddie and Ravi. Like so
us. Yeah.
Yes.
That's us watching this episode. Exactly.
I think also just like having the Eddie, that really worked for me, the Eddie Ravi like ganging up on like that dynamic. Do more of that. That's hilarious to me. Like I know like we get like the 118 as a whole ganging up on Buck, but like there's just something specifically about the flavor of both how like Ravi and Eddie do it.
Because they're like his best friends.
Yeah, because they know him and they understand him. So they have like the most right to make fun of him for the insane shit that happens to him.
And there's so much to pull from with that. So, they're so right.
So all that said, what could have worked differently or been done better? Overall, like, I think we all agree it's another like 10 out of 10 for us.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you getting tired of hearing us say that?
Sorry.
Get used to it.
They keep making good television. We're going to keep saying it's good. I don't know.
Like everything about this episode was entertaining. I know we barely touched on Hen and Chimney, but like I felt that was really compelling as well. You know, for our 2 minutes of the Buddie system that isn't about Buddie, but you know, we'll talk about them a little bit. Okay,
we're almost there.
A+ episode. Good job. More, please.
All right. So I guess diving right into character moments, we're going to give people who aren't Buck and Eddie a tiny bit of time to shine.
The spotlight. Because we do have things to say about Hen and Chim.
This is just one of those episodes, though, where it's like, especially like Dia de Muertos, where it was just like, we have so much to say about Eddie. Like, we just got to get there.
And it was so interesting, too, because the promo was so Hen heavy. And, you know, I always say, like, don't trust the promos because they will always like skew your perspective a little bit. And I think it was so interesting because this was such a stark contrast between, you know, what was in the promo, which was all Hen, and what we got in the episode. So it's like, even though you shouldn't trust the promos, you can usually guesstimate that whatever they're showing is not going to be the A plot, or at least not the entirety of A plot. So Hen.
Yeah.
All right. It took a minute to like remember how we do these.
Yeah, these are just our individual highlights for each character, our moments.
So my highlight for Hen was she's doing her best House MD impression, trying to self-diagnose.
Minus the Vicodin.
No, she might be actually. That was a big baggie of medications. Yeah, so she's doing her best House MD impression, trying to self-diagnose her mystery illness. Watch it be lupus. I hope not. But like, no, because that's the thing with House. Because he's always like, it's not lupus, it's not lupus, until the one time that it was.
One time it was lupus.
That's such a great show. I love it. But yeah, she's like trying to be detective. And even at the beginning, it was the other person at the med clinic spa place was like, are you a detective? She's like, something like that. But girl, no. Ugh. The hubris of Hen.
My highlight is when she finally told Chimney, because
she had to.
She had to. Okay, fine. I was having a hard time remembering what happened.
It was like 10 minutes of Hen this episode.
Yeah.
Like,
it was not a lot of Hen.
No. I will say, you know, her highlight was saving the kid from the fire. So that's a positive for her. Sucks that everyone
she almost didn't.
She almost didn't, and like lots of people saw her collapse, and ultimately Chimney was right in his decision. So
I will say I don't really have a highlight. I have 2 notes.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a highlight. It can just be like a moment that stood out to us.
It was rough.
So I have 2 notes.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, and I think it's just kind of in response to like kind of the fandom reaction that I've seen around this Hen storyline. And I think the first one is just like people not understanding why she wouldn't want to tell anyone. And like her quote that she says like to Chimney about like, that makes it real. I can relate to it just a tiny bit because as someone who like has chronic pain, not chronic illness, I knew that I probably had fibromyalgia or something because my mom has fibromyalgia for years. And I waited until it was very bad to finally get a diagnosis. Because like once you get a diagnosis, like it's real and you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I kind of understood on some level like where she was coming from.
Of course.
But mostly I think I just want to say that this whole arc, say what you will about it, but it's in character.
It is.
It's so Hen.
This is how Hen deals with things.
Especially when it's about herself, right?
Like when she has to deal with things where it involves like her family. So like when it involves like expanding the family, which is a lot of her storylines, Karen was normally involved, right? Because Karen is the other party involved in all of those decisions or like the heartbreak, all of that stuff. Well, not stuff just with her. Like, do we not remember her in season 1 with Ava? Like, I know we all try to forget that, but like, did we just forget?
That's basically how she was introduced to us.
Yes. As like just being messy and making not great decisions.
And then med school in season 3, it was the same exact thing.
Where she kept the secret. Yep.
We talked about this in season 3 where Hen is a very internal character and she has to work through everything alone by herself internally and not talk about it to anybody until she knows exactly what it is or what she wants. And only then does she come out and like say anything about it. And it's like, she's done this so many. I feel like there's another example that I couldn't remember.
Not that we've watched recently that we can think of. Anytime she's dealing with something that's her own thing that isn't directly related to one of her other loved ones, she is dealing with it by herself, not well.
Yeah.
And then whenever they find out, it's always in a way that is bad. Like as in season 1, she didn't tell Karen that she cheated on her. Karen found out because Ava served them papers to try and get custody of Denny.
The opening scene with Karen was so reminiscent when she just like,
what's
Luna? And it just sounded like similar to the cheating storyline. Just
where she was at the table with the papers. Very similar.
And the meds,
Well, it was the same thing that happened in season 3 with the med school because Karen found Hen texting this number and was like, oh my God, she's cheating. Who is this person? I forget the name, but it was the doctor.
Oh yeah, it was the doctor. Yeah.
What Karen does is she gathered all the evidence and this stems from that trauma of Hen not telling her about Ava in season 1. So then Karen just kind of like waits up for her at night, like turns the light on and is like, I've been waiting for you. I'm going to like
confront.
The second time she went to Chimney and was like,
after she gathered the evidence though.
This is the 3rd time that she's confronting her about something that she's hiding. And it just feels, it's just very interesting that we keep revisiting this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very in character for Hen.
Do we like it?
No.
Do we agree with her actions? No. Do we think it's like compelling and a good story?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's all. Those are my notes.
It is interesting. I hope we find out soon. I don't think we will, but shall we move on to Chimney?
Yes, please.
So basically my highlight is Chimney's reaction to Hen saying that she's known about it. And he confronts her with, I feel like if Bobby was still here, you wouldn't have hidden this from me. And it's like, you don't trust me, which I think could be a part of like his insecurities becoming captain. So he's captain now. Like he thought everything was going to go good going forward and he's making all the captainy decisions. But then like this is a blow because this is also his best friend and he is her boss. It's just, it's so like this whole thing, this whole relationship now is so complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and I don't know, Kenny Choi is again so good in the scene because like you can hear that heartbreak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just him losing trust in her. It's Chimney realizing that Hen doesn't trust him. And that's kind of what hurts the most.
Yeah.
I think to him more than anything else.
Yeah.
Going off of that, my highlight or my moment was that he wasn't going to fire her because he said, if it was anyone but you, showing all of that deferential treatment that she's like a special case. If it was anyone but you, I would have to let them go. And it's not until she says something.
He's like, why am I any different?
Yeah.
Why should I be any different? And then he's like, okay, you're done. And it's just like, she kind of dug that hole for herself there.
Yeah. She should have stayed quiet.
I know.
I have a sneaking suspicion that she's not like fired from like firefighting. It's that she is probably suspended until she like for health reasons is cleared to come back, but like can't come back to the 118 is like what he meant.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
because again, that like trust is broken.
Yeah.
So either way, he wasn't going to take like the most severe action because it's Hen.
Yeah.
But then she changed his mind. And it's just like, oh, you could tell that hurt him to do. Yeah, Kenny Choi just like has a lot of gravitas. Like he's funny all the time, but like when he has moments of seriousness and gravitas, he really like brings the heart.
Yeah. He was still right, though, to do what he did.
Oh, absolutely. He was right.
Yeah.
I think that this whole dynamic and what is happening here is like so much more interesting and complicated than Buck's like lawsuit era in season 3 because
it's so much more gray.
There's so much more gray area and like there's so much more like she actively did things instead of just like, you know, she was in like, you know what I mean? Like Buck was above board and all the stuff that he did and she was not. Like it's I'm really interested to see where they go with this because like the tension between them and then the tension between Karen and Hen and Chimney and Hen and now it's going to be from the preview that we saw for episode 8, Athena and Chimney, like it just creates a lot of interesting story opportunity. So
yeah.
My highlight for Chimney has nothing to do with Hen because all that stuff made me sad. My highlight is when at the call with the birth where like they're packing her up into the ambulance and he's congratulating Cecilia like after she says like, I already love you even though I didn't know you existed an hour ago to the baby. And he just like smiles really fondly and is like, it happens like that and congratulates her. And I was like, that's my dad of all time. Like he just
it's so cute.
He's just so soft like about kids in general, but like obviously the most with his kids. So I don't know. It just
especially
made me go,
it's since he just had a second
just had another one.
Yeah. Recently-ish. I guess 3 months have gone by. So how old is we don't really have a name still.
I don't fucking know. We're calling this baby.
Timey-wimey. Yeah. No, it's really cute.
Should we talk about Ravi? So Ravi this whole episode was just a mood. I was endlessly entertained by him. But my favorite part with Ravi from this episode is in the gym scene. That entire thing, but specifically when Buck is like, Bubby is a term for endearment. And he's like, it is for grandma. And first of all, just shout out for knowing what Bubby is, because apparently these two other guys have no Jewish friends.
Oh my God, yeah.
Petition to have more Jewish representation at the 118, please.
I just loved that the thing that like was what kind of clued everyone into these two people knowing each other was that they shared a bubby. I don't know. That was just very personal to me as someone who had a bubby who was my favorite person. So that's all.
Also, their bubby looks so fun.
She does. A bubby with short red hair.
Yeah. Oh,
she's found in kitchen.
She's the best. She's the best grandma. She's the fun grandma. That's what it is. Yeah. My highlight for Ravi is just like so much else of this episode, equal opportunity, but specifically his equal opportunity ribbing towards both Buck and Eddie, because he's like, yeah, take off the belt, Eddie. And then he's like, you know, ribbing Eddie about that. And then he's ribbing Buck about like, yeah, it was Tommy's choice. And the you got to stop polling people about your life choices. How many times have we said that Buck is crowdsources?
Ravi is like a stand-in for us sometimes. Some of the shit he says to Buck, I feel.
He's a little bit of a Buck whisperer. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I love that Ravi is just like, he's feeling so comfortable with both Buck and Eddie that he's just like, yeah, I'm going to make fun of you because you're my friend. And it's like that kind of closeness of their relationship, I think, is really nice. But it's also just like, he speaks the truth, man. Like, he really does.
He is wise. That's sage advice too. Stop pulling people about your life.
We keep saying Buck crowdsourcing.
He does.
And when he said that, I was just like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where it was like, oh yeah, pointing at the screen. We've said that.
So my highlight isn't really a highlight. It's basically the whole episode. It's okay, fine. It's mostly like just him being present for the Comp-Het tango that Buck and Eddie have going on that they keep dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Takes two to tango, but we have a third wheel here. I don't know what is happening.
Wait, that's just like this episode.
It is. Yep.
Oh, he's there. No, but okay. Like the whole outing too. He really is the third wheeling the club scene. To be honest, he's not completely. He's there to watch and observe, because no one's pressuring him to get laid, and we don't even know what his relationship status is. I'm assuming single, based off of context clues.
Eagle-eyed viewers of the episode stills, he had a ring in the stills and it was there in the episode. You barely saw it, but like I was looking for it. So like, is Ravi married or is it just like an accessory? I don't know. It was on the ring finger.
I just thought Anirudh had his. I think he forgot to take it off.
That's kind of what I think. I think Anirudh forgot to take it off.
Yeah. It would be funny if he was actually married and he just never talked about his blurry wife.
I mean, more Ravi lore drop. Like, we've also been asking for that.
Yeah.
The other reason why I'm assuming he's single is because of he's also like looking and complimenting and saying she's hot. And it's like, okay, but they're also not pressuring you. And again, this is part of the Comp-Het thing, the Comp-Het tango that I'll probably get into about later on with Buck and Eddie.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Yay.
I've just accepted fate at this point that I will never be able to start a Buck section without going, what the fuck? Oy vey.
Oh boy. Just like Sabrina Carpenter's Man-Child, like every time.
Listen, this is one of the Buck episodes. It's one of the, shit just happens to him. But something about his aura just invites it. So it's just so one of those things. My highlight, I guess, for him in this episode, I don't know, being the world's worst fucking wingman. Because like he actually has no interest in seeing Eddie with someone else. And he's just too charming for his own good. So like it just happens to him. So it's like he's not actually there looking to pull anyone, but like he just does because he's Buck. And he also just does not stay on task because ADHD, but also because I think he just really does not have an interest in actually setting Eddie up with anyone, whether it be a date or hooking up. Like I just don't think he actually, like he got there and was like,
And it's also giving a little bit like, oh, someone was paying attention to me? Okay.
Yeah, he's just not a good wingman. Like, if I needed a wingman, he would not be the person that I call.
No.
Hype man, sure, but not a
No,
wingman.
I'd be like, wear a paper bag. You can't be my wingman. Like, everyone's going to be focusing on the giant curly-haired, like, bisexual with, like, the puppy dog energy and the cute birthmark. Like...
Who can see anyone else like next to that?
Like literally because he's so tall and gigantic.
It's hard to miss.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's my highlight. It's just that like he was like, yeah, come out, I'll be your wingman. And then is just like not good at it. Doesn't try very hard at it. insists he's gonna be so good at it.
The intention was there. In theory is different than practice, you know? My highlight for Buck was rare psychoanalyzing from Buck. He's psychoanalyzing Eddie, saying that Eddie must relate to the chastity belt guy. And it's just like, oh my God. We know Buck isn't like the most self-aware king. And I say that with affection, that he doesn't always like really dive into what's going on up there in his noggin. So just the fact that he was like offering this like Freudian psychoanalysis of Eddie.
Well, he thinks about Eddie way more than he thinks about himself.
Exactly. He's like, I know what's going on in your head more than I know what's going on in my head. Again, I mean this with so much affection. That just really struck me as very, very funny because, you know, it might be helpful for him to turn that kind of introspection on himself rather than project it. Which is another, just like it's a weird psychology thing that he's doing, and it brought me so much joy.
Yeah, Comp-Het Tango.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that because that's wow.
Yeah,
Buck, you're so special. Said with all the love and affection in the world, but oh my God.
Okay, the only thing I'm gonna say real quick, that was aggressive.
It was so aggressive.
He had like a little light bulb moment. He was like, oh, Eddie must relate to that guy, and was like, how much was he thinking about this, actually? Like, for him to come to that, like, epiphany, like, that's so funny.
There's nothing about that call.
It's Buck projecting so much stuff onto Eddie, and it's like, no.
It's like, babe, I need you to take
yes, but
like,
also
yes,
no.
but no. He's like, some of the things, just gonna say it real quick. Some of the things he said, he's not exactly wrong. However, why did you take this approach? That was a lot. That's all. That is all.
The approach could use some work, but
oh yeah,
he wasn't wrong. It's just funny that he was thinking about that about Eddie, and he doesn't give that much thought about himself because I don't think he wants to. So he doesn't want to unpack that box. We know this.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
U-Haul theory.
Yeah. The read is there. Like, the read is there, and the read is like spot on until it's not. Like, it's spot on, and then we're just doing the Comp-Het Tango, where it's just like, my dude, you're an out bisexual. Please get out. The dance. I can't deal with him. he was forcing the Comp-Het onto Eddie, and it's like,
yes,
yeah. Why are you doing that as someone who's
bisexual?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Wake up! Because he has not done a deep dive into Comp-Het yet.
No, it's
that is the questions that I'm asking,
and it's because he can't think about Eddie as anything other than very, very straight.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Don't stop because we're
I know we're getting into your thing.
This is all from Buck's point of view.
I love how we have a queer Eddiemaxxing section.
Yes.
But we don't have Buck's Comp-Het.
We don't section.
I mean, we can do a Buck's Comp-Het section if you want.
Yeah, right now.
That's what we're doing right now. It's just bad.
Well, I'll get there. I mean,
we'll get into it when we get into the
stuff. We're just introducing his Buck's. Welcome to Buck's Comp-Het section, even though he's fucking bi. Anyway, so my highlight.
This is so funny. They're so stupid.
No, wait. Okay. When we opened our queer coding special with Eddie and we defined Comp-Het, didn't we say, like, if you look up Comp-Het in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Eddie Diaz? No, Buck is actually there too.
Oh, yeah.
He's right next to it.
Right where he wants to be. Don't bother him. He's right where he wants to be.
Oh, no. No, they're so stupid.
I can't.
I love them so much. They're so dumb.
He watched all of that. He knows all of Eddie's history. He watched all of that in the club and still came out of that going, that's my straight best friend.
Only Buck. Because I'm not sure Ravi's as convinced. We'll get into that. Not fully, but like, he's got some questions.
No, I'm more clued into it than Buck is, which is to say
that.
at all.
I will say that. I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Mm-hmm. Which is to say, has squinted at it at all.
When Ravi eventually puts because what Ravi's doing is taking notes.
Oh, yeah,
but he doesn't have all the information. But he hasn't come to the conclusion yet. He's just taking notes.
Yeah.
He's gathering his evidence like Karen.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Ravi and Karen.
Yeah, and we had a moment with them when he told her
Bobby died.
Wait, can we have Ravi and Karen again in not tragedy, but actually talking about their pathetic gay
Oh my.
Again, affectionate.
Affectionate. I think they'd be so much fun together. Anyway.
Can I say my thing now?
Yes.
My God. Okay. I love our little detour. That wasn't really a detour, but it was a detour. Anyway, my highlight was Buck breaking up with the couple and figuring out that being a third isn't for him, and figuring out what he really wants for himself. So Oliver Stark said in an interview for People when, after the episode came out that Buck, learned about himself in that moment, that he wants a person. He wants his person. He wants to move in the direction of being something that's long-term and stable. And that he's realizing in that moment that actually he wants something that feels real and is meaningful, and that's his goal. And it's a big moment of discovery and self-discovery for him. And it really is. Like, he does say, like, in the episode that he is still figuring out to be someone's half.
So still figuring out how to be a half.
A half, not someone's half. A half. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's still figuring that out, except like he's not realizing that he kind of already is a half to someone else.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he still needs to work on that. Like, and they both do. Okay. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not just him, it's both of them.
No. But it's like, I love this moment too, but how sad is it that this is like huge growth?
I know.
For him to be like, I don't have to date everyone who shows interest in me.
Well, this is what we've kind of been waiting for so long, because his history...
It's like baby steps.
Yes, his history
You're
has
figuring out,
always been...
you don't have to date everyone who shows interest in you. You only want one person. Like, you want to be someone's other half, a partner, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. You have so many other things to figure out still, I know. My guy.
He's figured this out. This is great because, and I do think this is significant for him because of his dating history, which has primarily been someone who is showing interest in him and not him going out and looking for it. This happens again with both Jade and Zane. They, like, Buck approaches her, but she was giving him eyes first. And then Zane...
He didn't approach her for him.
Exactly. If this were closer to like a Buck 1.0, Buck, I think he would absolutely entertain the idea of being a third, because it would be what he would think is like double the attention, which is what he wants. But that's not exactly what he wants. He wants connection, like a deep connection with someone, which like ostensibly he could have had.
But I don't think it'd be healthy for him specifically, because it's like he already has that like spare parts fucking trauma. So it's like he doesn't like, I don't think he'd ever be able to feel secure in that relationship. It'd always be like, I'm just like an extra, I'm like a bonus. Like I'm not really like necessary in this equation.
It's because that they are already an established, specifically married couple, so like they're more solidified with each other, that he would just be like that extra.
If it was like a poly thing that you discovered at the same time and decided to enter into together, like maybe that'd be different.
That would be
yeah. And also these people, like, and I think he realized this and said it, and I'm glad he called them out, like ethical non-monogamy, okay,
but I was unaware.
But ethical to him.
But you didn't tell me about it, and you guys chose to date and sleep with me without telling me about it. How is that ethical?
Yeah,
it's not.
So like if that was the way that relationship started, that
not
doesn't
great.
bode well. So
No.
so he really did like choose himself first.
Yeah.
In this instance, which is great.
Yeah. And they put him in a position to like figure this out in the way that he did, and like not correctly, but figure out and then like have to like back out of it, and like just put him in this weird situation where like even if he did have feelings and like wanted to explore that, it's just like a weird power imbalance kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Where it's like they kind of already like toyed with his emotions, and the way she was talking about him was weird too.
Yeah, it's because they were at first like using him mostly for his looks and his body, which has also historically been an issue with his partners in the past.
Yep.
So
literally all of them.
Yeah. So by Buck choosing himself and choosing and like realizing that he just wants a, like Oliver said, long-term stable partnership, just like his one person.
He wants his person.
It's someone who sees Buck for Buck and more than just like
the body
and the aesthetics and everything like that. And it's just like, it doesn't seem like it, but it is actually very significant growth for Buck that we've been looking forward to for a long time.
It is. I think there's just so much. I look at it and I'm like, great, but also there's so much, left for you to like figure out of like
road.
Because he still needs to figure out what he wants. I'm not even talking about Eddie. I'm just like what he wants in a relationship, because like you should know that, other than just like I want a relationship with one person. I feel like you need to know more than that.
I think he's also looking at the relationships around him, and he's like, I want that. Like he wants the Madney relationship. He wants the Athena, maybe the Henren, even though I'm questioning that one right now. But yeah, like he sees his family have all these like great relationships where everyone is supportive of the other, that they each know their own person and
the partnership.
Yeah, and he wants that partnership, and hooking up with anyone that just shows interest in him is just not the way to go. He needs to find someone that is equal in building that relationship.
Who wants to pursue that with him. And I mean, I think this was kind of like a great closure. We mentioned it a little bit of him from 807 after the breakup from Tommy, where Buck was like, I don't know which pool to jump back into. And like now he realizes
the answer was both.
The answer was both.
Any pool.
And so like his options are wide open.
Yeah.
If he opens his eyes. I don't know why that was such a drastic.
I don't know either. I was like, okay.
I didn't want to say the right in front of him thing because we're going to talk about that later, but like that implied. So, and again, just like do appreciate them showing in the same episode the bisexuality.
Yeah.
Literally both. Like, hello. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. GA.
And just quickly, I think there were some complaints from a very minor few, but they were like, what was the point of the story? And it was basically what Oliver said here. It's him realizing that he wants his person and he doesn't want to be like toyed around with anymore. He
doesn't want to settle just for anyone. Yeah. That was the point. And also to show general audiences that he isn't gay, he is bisexual. Yeah, and I think, I can't remember what episode it was. Maybe it was our season 9 wish list. When I think I basically laid out, like, I want them to do this. Like, show us that Buck's bisexual. Like, we know you won't say it because it doesn't test well. Anyway, I just want to say, like, thank you. Like, I asked for this and you gave it to me.
You did.
I still would like him to say the word bisexual, but like, I realize it will be probably several seasons until they allow him to say that.
Sorry, what was that? You started mumbling.
Said it'll probably be like several. If they ever let him say it, it'll probably be several seasons before they do.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like on Grey's Anatomy and I'm like, wait, how long?
You have not gotten there yet.
How? Erica left.
You haven't gotten there yet.
Arizona just showed up.
Yeah.
She doesn't. So who?
She hasn't said bisexual yet.
Wait, which one is supposed to say? Is it Callie or Arizona?
Callie.
Okay.
Arizona is lesbian. Callie is bisexual. No, she doesn't say it until much later. It's like season 10. Yeah, it's like season 9 or 10. And she says it to Meredith Grey of all fucking people.
According to the Callie Torres timeline, we only have 7 more seasons until Buck says he's bisexual.
Oh my God. Her bisexual awakening was interesting because I just watched the episode where I think she was like, she has sex with Erica and then she has sex with Mark Sloan. And she's like, or he was like, how was it? Or I don't really remember, but she was like, I like both and that's the problem or something. I don't really remember.
Yeah. She struggled with it.
That's basically exactly what Buck says.
Well, because she's Latina, she comes from a very like Catholic, religious, like conservative upbringing. 11:05, Sil.
Oh fuck.
11:05. That's when they let her say bisexual.
Oh my god.
She starts dating women in season 4.
Yeah. Crazy work, ABC. Crazy work.
Yeah. Season 13. Lucky 13.
Yeah.
Buck will get to say bisexual. Well, not bisexual. Will get to say I'm bi. That's what she says. Anyway, should we talk about Eddie before we talk about Eddie?
And more Eddie and
this
is another Eddie special.
Basically.
So this is just our highlights of Eddie for the episode.
Yeah. So I just loved that Eddie brought up that Buck is single every single time that Buck mentions it to Eddie. And it's at least 3 times where Buck is like, you haven't looked at a woman. You're single. And Eddie's like, so are you. You're in the same boat. You're single too. And it's just like so interesting. And I love that little bit of deflection from Eddie because it's so apropos to this whole episode. It's just like he just nope. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Leave me alone.
Deflection. I may be single, but so are you. Don't you forget that. Just hilarious and great. And every single time. That's his comeback. It's just like, so are you. There's so much going on under that. But
yeah.
We'll get there.
My highlight is basically why I'm laughing. My highlight is Eddie in the gym scene. I don't even know how to start because there's so much going on. Eddie's a fucking rage baiter. He is absolutely gleeful when they figure out the whole like situation that's happening with Buck's dates and hookups or whatever. And they also, the 911 costuming department and makeup department, y'all also decided to slut him out. Because
no, literally what a man should have been playing.
What a man should have been playing in the background.
Has nobody done that edit yet?
I don't think they have. Also, yeah,
shame.
they made it really hard to concentrate on the scene.
I know. And it was such a great and funny scene, but like
I'm very distracted.
Yeah, every time it cut to Eddie, I was just like, blah, blah, blah.
Proper name, place name, backstories.
I'm like, bro, those guns are out.
Yep.
They were.
Wow.
It was the gun show. We got free tickets.
Yeah, because like Buck and Ravi were very demure, very mindful in their t-shirt and gym shorts. But no, Mr. Slutty Sweaty Tank Top. That guy showed
like
up.
Oiled up for the fucking like weightlifting competition. Like, what were we doing? It was crazy. But yeah, no, he really is just like, my stories are on. Anytime Buck's life starts getting
his Buck
telenovela-y. Yeah, he loves his Buck novellas.
Like sands through the hourglass. These are the days of Buck's lives. Like,
yeah. It's the you connected with his sister.
you bonded with his sister.
He was about to like transform into his next form of like the Cheshire Cat. Like the way he was so gleefully grinning.
God,
it was so funny.
I've never seen him like that.
Eddie laugh that hard?
It's payback.
No. Or like, you know what? No, I feel like the biggest we've seen him smile other than that was the bachelor party. And he was drunk
wasted
as hell.
Yeah.
He was white girl wasted.
So this is the most sober, gleeful he's ever been.
It feels medieval. He was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
he's embracing that joy, and that joy is seeing Buck go through it.
Yeah. And just taking a teensy bit of joy of like, you have to break up with these people now. It's so funny to me for some reason.
Yeah, just a little bit like, I'm not the only one with some crazy dating history. Doppelgangers, you bagged 2 siblings. Like, I'm not sure they equate, but like,
no,
in his head, he's like, he.
No, he fully knew that was the doppelganger of his dead ex-wife.
He just likes that he's not being the one that's like, wow.
He loves the stories when he is not the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, honorable mention, Eddie gets to deliver a baby.
Yeah.
Yay.
I have thoughts about that I will bring up later.
Yeah, I'll keep it right there. And we got implied interim captain or maybe Lieutenant Eddie because he got to like finish up the shift. You know, like Chimney was on the phone and he told him to finish the shift and hand it over to B shift. So, crumbs.
It's what you specifically, like all of us, but what like you specifically have been asking for Lieutenant Eddie because like they have one over in Nashville.
Yeah. Yep. Give it to us officially. My moments are a little related, or at least the first one is. The first one is the way that he rushes Ravi out of the locker room so that they can go watch the tea when Jade and Zane show up.
Again, his stories are on. He's not going to miss this conclusion.
No, he can't miss them.
But the way they like saunter out, just kind of like he
like rushes them out, and then they're trying to look nonchalant and like looking around. And,
like, it reminds me of when
like, this is normal. We're not really here.
It reminds me when he pulled out his phone when when Brad shows up at the firehouse.
Yeah,
and like he's like, oh shit, they're gonna fight again.
He was mentally recording.
Oh my god, I forgot that.
Oh, he really loves his stories. His novellas.
He does.
Telenovelas.
He's here for the drama.
Yeah, so I feel like they cut to Ravi in that scene a lot more than they cut to Eddie. But he was absolutely eating up the story until a point. And so my other moment was like when they cut to him after Jade says to Buck, I told you were a unicorn. Sometimes we need to take our ponies out for a test ride before they join the herd. And they pan over to Eddie, and he has just like the most anime level sad face I've ever seen on him. Like big eyes, big pouty face. And I'm just like, he's so tired of people using his boy. Like, that's such a weird thing to say.
It was.
Such a weird fucking thing to say. Like, we just needed to see if like you were worth it.
It's almost dehumanizing in a weird way.
It's dehumanizing.
Yeah. And honestly, you know how we've been wanting Buck to have like a stalker like date kind of thing? Like, no, this didn't happen necessarily here, but it gave that energy. Like, I was ready for this girl to be a freak. And she kind of was. And when she said that, I felt validated.
Yeah.
Because that was not... No, girl, why did you say that? It really was dehumanizing.
And he could tell that, like, Buck was really uncomfortable. So I think the more he could tell that Buck was uncomfortable, the more his reactions were like...
Which is also so very Eddie, because it's like... He never really approves of anyone that Buck has
rightfully
dated.
So.
Anyways, which is like... is fair, because all of his exes suck.
Well, why should he? Because it's not like Buck is putting them through any kind of filtering process. Just like, you're interested in me. Okay. And by me, I mean my body. Great. Let's date. So yeah, he has every right to judge them, especially this chick for being like, sorry that we weren't like honest with you or upfront with you and like used you in a weird little game between us. Do you want to date us for real?
What a terrible pitch.
Yeah. That's real awkward. So like, as much as Eddie was just kind of like eavesdropping on his stories, I think he was also trying to be there for Buck as like as emotional support.
No, he was there to like have his back if need be. If like because I think it was like, first of all, he wanted to see the tea, but also it was like if they were going to be weird, because they didn't know like what was going to happen. Like if they were going to be weird, he wanted to be there to be able to support Buck.
Yeah, because like imagine that your friend tells you, yeah, I broke up with these two people with a really nice or classy text or whatever that classy text was. And they pulled up at your place of employment.
Yeah.
I would also be having my friends back, getting ready to square up if I need to, because what the fuck is that? Well, like, what are we doing? Also, like when you look at that scene, Ravi's focus is on the couple. Eddie's focus is on Buck specifically. So obvious, like he was getting ready.
Priorities.
Yeah, there were priorities here.
Yeah. Right. This brings us to our second ever queer Eddiemaxxing section, because what did you think you were going to get?
This whole episode, like 907, was just queer Eddiemaxxing.
Lindsay Bolio was queer Eddiemaxxing.
And we love her for it. Oh my God. She did so much for us personally.
I think just quickly.
Yes.
Because I don't think we explained what we did, right? Which was pick 3 episodes to watch before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we were inspired.
Is one way to put it.
We watched 705, 905, and 817 the night before. In that particular order, the night before the winter premiere. And
we were like, we gotta get our heads back in the 911 game.
You guys needed to come back to LA and get away from the cottage. I was waiting for you guys at LAX.
I can occupy both places in space and time. So.
But I just needed something to like fully push me over, because I was like, still love Heated Rivalry. I'll still be there a little bit, but I was like, I need to be full back into business mode.
Yeah. Yeah. So we watched those 3, and I recommend that you watch those 3 in that order, and then watch 907 and just see all of the threads that come from like 705 forward are absolutely crazy. And 705 was written by Lindsay Bolio and Taylor Wong. So I mean, if you want to add 811 in there somewhere, go ahead.
And 806. I saw that Twitter user Emma Buckley Ioncourt, I think you guys both follow them. But they were talking about how like the night before they watched 705, 806, and 905.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And they were like, my God, that boy is gay. I'm vibrating. I'm ascending to the heavens. That fucking reservoir of Catholic guilt is about to be so fucking activated and emptied, baby. And I replied, and I was like, we did almost the same thing. But 806 is a great addition of that too. So like, I think if we had the time, I think we only had so much time. We were like, we gotta pick 3.
Yeah.
But like, I think I would add like 705, 905, 817, 806.
811 in there somewhere, probably.
Maybe after 817, 811, 806, 905. Something like that. I kind of want to skip 811, because if you're just trying to focus on just like the Eddie
part,
queer coding of it all. Well, I mean, I guess there is Eddie straight.
Just the kitchen. You just have to watch the kitchen scene.
Yeah. You gotta watch the kitchen
scene.
scene.
That's
that's true.
Because I mean, I think it does. I think 811 is pertinent to Buck's aspect of this episode.
Buck's
but not
Tango.
Yeah. So like that's if you're looking at it at a slightly larger scope. But if we're just looking at Eddie's stuff, then it's like, just look at the morning after scene from 811 and
but
Maddie.
Oh boy, like watching all of those coming off of the heels of like recording, editing, and releasing that the Eddie dating queer coding special. Wow. We were so ready for 907. We were so ready for Secrets. Yeah, we recommend you do it.
Yeah. And they're bringing up like these little aspects of like queer Eddie that needed to be addressed. So 905 brought up the religious trauma, guilt. So did 705.
Yep.
907 is bringing up his sexuality and the fact that he hasn't looked at a woman in a year. Why is that? Why are you so bad at it? I'm trying to remember if there was a third thing.
The fact that he only ever dates when he's encouraged to.
Not even encouraged, but like explicitly instructed to do so.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is like we're bringing up these little plots that Joy was the third one. And the first one actually. So 806 introduced the storyline about finding joy and that he's punishing himself. I'm gonna add the like he was feeling insecure about being a dad. Yeah. And they addressed that part. Now we did the Catholic guilt. We addressed the Catholic guilt. That started in 705 and kind of tried to redefine his relationship with religion in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're opening,
like we're revisiting all those storylines we started in 7.
Hey, like all those storylines that everyone thinks that people that they're dropping.
Oh yeah.
So interesting.
Oh wait, yeah, that's interesting.
And now we've opened up the sexuality. Oh, and a storyline that they opened in season 6 with Love is in the Air and performance anxiety.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
like
they're not dropping these storylines.
No.
This is very consistent storytelling, and Han, you bring up a good point with like it does seem like they're really bringing back in like piecemeal, like they're like pebbling it for us. A lot of these things that were set forth kind of early on that they seemed like they were going to visit in 7, where we know that the original plan was to get Eddie and Tommy together.
Yeah.
And that was nixed in lieu of Buck and Tommy, which I think we've mentioned multiple
that
times.
It's the best decision that they made.
Yeah,
decision.
because that radical acceptance is so Buck, and that would not have worked for Eddie. But it is interesting that now we're seeing all of these things come back up again, like they are breadcrumbing.
But it's also that they've brought both of them up in season 9, 2 episodes apart.
Yeah.
So interesting.
And he was dealing with the priest in season 8. So it's like 8 and 9.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we definitely did a lot in 8 too, but I'm saying like people think that it was dropped in 8. So I'm just like, well, seems like we're picking up a lot of things.
They're picking it back up.
Not just picking it up, but like actively going, well, here's a storyline. Here's an arc for Eddie to address. That's still, there's a pin in there. You gotta come back to it.
Almost like this is, I think we said at the very top, like this is his main arc for the season. And it's not done yet, but they're working on it.
Do you remember after we watched 806 and we were like, this is the start, like the official start of Eddie's queer arc? I feel like...
Yeah, it was in season 7.
Well, yes, but we were like, you know, in that season. I feel 10 times more insane about this episode. And it's not even
somehow,
his, like, A or B plot.
No, somehow, yeah.
I mean, I guess he's technically B plot, maybe?
I don't even know.
He's getting a lot more responsibility and a lot of focus right now. So
it's just
it's very interesting.
I don't know. It just feels like his year. So anyway,
we always say that every year.
It's Scott Hunter's year.
This is our only second year here
live. Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
Live.
During the podcast. Yeah.
We say that every year, second time.
I mean, they could have done it last year if they hadn't killed Bobby. So
yeah, I think that's what they were gearing up to do. But then, you know, sharp left turn.
Yeah.
And but we've said what they have to do is get that momentum going again, which was going to be hard to do, but they're doing it.
They did a good job at that because I was actually a little not concerned, but I think I was like, I mean, we didn't know what we were going to be presented with season 9 because of the Bobby shaped elephant in the room, but they did a good job. And I think one of the things that I don't remember if I mentioned this in the live, but I think they did a good job incorporating these time skips because it's good to know how much time is actually passing and why like the Bobby shaped elephant in the room is not as large and like looming over them like a cloud because time has passed. And you know, with time, the wound is being cauterized. I don't know if this is a great metaphor, but like it's not as a big
time
gaping.
heals all wounds.
It's not
blah, blah, blah,
yes.
But it doesn't close it fully.
Yes,
it's like
yeah. But life does go on.
Yeah,
I think I was kind of on the same page. So where I was like, I never closing on Gay Eddie or on Buddie, but I was very much like, okay, how are we doing it this season? I know it's going to be in the second half of the season. What are we doing? What are our crumbs? What are we going to be doing? And I think with watching those 3 episodes that we did the night before this episode came out, I woke up on Thursday and was like, we gotta move on Gay Eddie. Like I was in everyone's DMs like, he's so gay. We have to move. Get him out of the closet. Get our boy out.
I really love that we watched those 3 episodes and we did our performance. Our dating is performing episode 2 because I think it really prepped us for. And
like we're in the pocket.
Yeah, and it gave us like a really, really big snapshot of like all of the crumbs throughout the season to prove that this is what we're actually doing.
Yeah.
So we're putting the pieces together, man.
We're very normal about this. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, not like we don't
break it down for you.
7
I don't want
pages
to.
of
Don't tell me
notes.
how many
Yeah,
pages.
please
of
don't
notes
tell
we
me,
have
no.
left. Don't do that. Don't do that. We can't live like that. We're not like you, Rachel. That stresses us out. Okay.
I'm sorry. We have just many notes. I don't really know how to start this off, but so in this queer Eddiemaxxing, like just using, and I hate this metaphor, but like they did it in the show. It's funny, but it's weird at the same time.
It's Buck. Of course it is.
I know. Yeah, it's Buck. It's going to be a little weird. The whole Eddie using Chris as a quote unquote chastity belt, weird phrasing, but okay. That originated in 204 Stuck, my favorite episode. Which is interesting that they're kind of bringing that back, where it's like Eddie is basically like hiding behind this excuse of Christopher of like, I've got to focus on him. I've got, in 204, he says to one of the ladies at the bar, like, sorry, I have a son, as in like, don't be interested in me. I'm not what you're looking for. And because he also was not interested in like, that is his like default excuse. Right. And it's interesting that it came up again, even with so much time.
I think there's also like there's a juxtaposition there with like the opposite, where like he will get together with people for Christopher, and he learned his lesson to stop doing this after thinking he was dying
with Anna.
But like he got back together with Shannon for Christopher because he doesn't understand divorce and co-parenting, and he dated Anna specifically for Christopher because he felt like he was failing him by not providing him a mother.
Yeah.
So
it's so interesting that like in, again, any of his relationships that he's had, he doesn't really have much interest for himself.
Nope.
It's always for Christopher. And if it's not for Christopher, well, then he's going to use Christopher as like a shield to be like, I can't do this. I have to look after and focus on my son, because he doesn't want to engage with people in that way. So it's like, this is a basically time-honored tradition for him, right?
Yeah. So they basically said, you can't hide behind Christopher anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was more acceptable when Chris was young, but it's like, Chris is
He's
always busy. What do you mean?
He's on business trips. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like
he's not home.
Do you have plans? No.
Focusing on your son. What do you mean? Sitting at home doing nothing while your son has plans, bitch. Like, so he can't use Chris as an excuse anymore. I think that's very interesting how that's going to play out for him going forward. Something I did appreciate, is probably not on purpose, and just how it shook out while they were writing it. But when they're trying to like, they're walking through the fire station and trying to convince him to like go out and meet people IRL, right before they say that, and he goes, so what? You want me to meet some stranger on an app? And I love a no pronoun king.
Let's
not specify.
But
I think
there.
that's just a subtle little, it could be on purpose. It could totally be not on purpose. But I was just like, we didn't specify gender. I also would like to note that he's never, I don't think out loud said that he doesn't like the idea of apps before, but we in our special said that he would never go on a dating app. So
because he's demisexual.
Yes, no, no. They're like the antithesis of everything that he would enjoy about dating.
Yeah, to that, he's like, he doesn't want to meet people, like he needs to have that connection with.
I feel like he wants to meet, like, if anything, like if anything, it's meeting them organically and not through an app, because it has to be like a natural, like,
but he's literally never done that with anyone but Shannon and Buck. So
yeah, we talked about the camera focusing on Eddie, especially at the beginning when they were trying to pressure him to go out. He's literally disassociating. Like, the camera's focused on him, focusing on his expressions. You have Buck talking and yapping in the background about blah blah blah. You need to go out. People need people. People need people. No, he's prepping himself for his performance, and like we see this kind of disassociation in El Paso too. Like, I think it was during, it might have been 8/13 when they were having it was during after the slow cooker barbacoa, blah, blah, whatever scene. He turns around. He's also disassociating as his parents are talking about the chess match, I believe, and it's like, at this point, I think my boy here is exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
He's exhausted. And I think this comes from like 806, like trying to accept joy, doing things for himself. And I'll get more into this later. He still agrees to it because these are his friends asking him to go out. I can't think of a time where I just flat out say no sometimes, but there are things that I agree to that I don't want to do because I care about my friends. I want to spend time with them. So I do have to gear up. I do have to prep myself for the performance of my life. So I have not really, I mean, I relate to Eddie, but 905 and this episode, 907, oof. I've never related to him more. Like, I'm just like, my bro. I mean, his whole thing is the dating thing. Mine is just, I would rather be home. I would rather be home. Anyway, speaking of dating, so he has an absolute disinterest in attractive women. Like, he's not looking at them, especially during this club scene. No. He's just like, well, first of all, he hasn't looked at a woman in a year. Then when he's at the club, it's like Ravi like pointed out two of them. And he's like, nah, I don't want to bother her, you know.
Oh my God.
And I do get Buck's point about like, I get what Buck is trying to say, but I mean, sometimes like women don't want to be bothered actually at clubs. Mm-hmm. There are some women that don't want to be. They're just trying to have fun. And then like Buck, catches like Jade's eyeline, right? Yeah. Thinking that she's looking at Eddie and whatever, like that whole thing. And he's like,
typical Buck.
Let me go talk to her for you or whatever. And Eddie's like, no, Buck, please, no seeding. Don't seed.
Bro.
Let me go seed the ground for you, which, why?
Why those words?
Why would
we have a whole section so about weird. The euphemisms. We'll get into it.
We know why it's there because of the euphemism, but
it's so weird. Yeah.
What do you mean? It's like, I'm just gonna go piss in a circle around her for you.
I'm gonna go water the garden of this opportunity for you.
Her for
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this that is like
this episode is very like,
fuck no, please. Please don't.
There's a lot of like proxy stuff happening.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Also, it's kind of weird. I feel like someone in the live and during when we were watching this live did pick up on this, like how Eddie's like, no seeding, don't seed, kind of sounded like no cheating, don't cheat. I don't know which. I feel like one of you guys did, but it's also interesting when you think about like the next scene where Buck says to him, like in this context, right, where he's like, no, tonight's not about that. I'm not gonna leave your side, or something to that vein, right? So I don't even know what I was trying to go with that, but like literally, I just think that it's kind of like,
it's like, just stay here with me, bro. Please don't go like,
yeah.
I'm trying to make it clear that I'm not interested in like conversing with women, and I would rather you did not go over in whatever the seed with that. What?
Oh yeah.
What are we doing? Just like stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like in 705 where Eddie was like, you and Tommy had the right idea. Go out, stay single with the boys. And it's
stay single, hang out
like
with
that
the boys.
Same thing in a different context.
That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, he doesn't want to pay any attention to the women. He's just like, he does not care.
Take him to a gay bar.
You'd have so much more fun, honestly.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, and also you have the bachelor party where they were like, it was just the two of them and they were having the most fun.
Yeah.
Were they paying attention to like literally anyone
else?
No. They're their whole world, bro. Nothing else matters when they're around each other.
He really does not care to date a woman or like, he does not care to have sex with one, and he does not care to like even try to get with one.
Not even try to like have a conversation to even meet one for the possibility. No. He's just like shutting it down.
Not in a setting where there's romantic implications involved.
No.
I also am just like, were they not observing his face while he looked at these women? Because there was no attraction, no like, she's attractive, but like, I don't really want to talk to her. I'm not. No, it was just like complete disinterest on his face. Just like nothing. I cannot relate to this man in this moment.
Yeah, I think they were so, and by they, I mean Buck specifically, so focused on trying to get someone for Eddie by like, because Buck's like, yeah, I'm going to be a good friend. I'm going to help my friend out. I'm going to help him potentially get laid. Again, weird proxy stuff happening.
Why are you doing this?
If you want him to get laid so bad, do it yourself, coward. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, fuck him yourself. What are you doing?
If you want something done right, you
do
gotta
it
do it yourself.
Which I guess he was trying to, but that didn't.
But like, we're so close. We're so close, but like, almost there. You just gotta take out the outside factors and just like dial in. Like, I don't remember where I was going with this, but it's just like,
they're just not paying attention to what he's putting out.
He's trying. Eddie is trying.
His face is not subtle.
To say, or like Eddie's trying to indicate that he has no interest in any of that. So he used his excuse of Christopher, which did not work. That got kind of like thrown out. He tried to get out of going out with them, which did not work because he didn't have an excuse, because the excuse of Christopher was thrown out. And it's just like I don't think Eddie really fully understands why he doesn't want to even like try to get to know. It's because our dating is performing episode. Anything relationship shaped to him equals marriage.
That's him.
So like to him, just like getting to know someone means going out on a date, which means immediate relationship, which means he has to get married to them. And that's not how that works.
He has just never, and I'm like, Buckley, I'm failing you on like Eddie 101 for someone who's so obsessed and like pays attention to almost everything about him. How have you never noticed that this man never wants to date people?
It's because that's in his Eddie is straight blind spot.
It's the Comp-Het fucking Tango. I hate it here.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. More on that later.
Still say your next thing.
No, I
gotta move on.
I know. I just wanted to say also, that his aura, that man does not want to be approached. Okay.
He's so closed off.
Nope.
That's
me in a club.
Yes, that's me in a club.
1,000,000%. It's like, don't even look at me. Literally don't even make eye contact
near
with me.
I don't even care if you're here looking at my friend. Do not be near us. No.
That's the face of a man who will verbally eviscerate you if you try and talk to him.
Just do not. You're weird. Get away from me, actually. So, yes. So his aura, his whole like demeanor, he's very unapproachable, but I'm so glad. I'm just going to say this real quick, even though we'll probably get to it. I'm really glad that they did add that, Zane looking at him, because I feel like it's also unrealistic that Eddie's not hit on a lot. Because I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
Well, it's the aura,
but it's
the aura of like, do not talk.
At least somebody shoot their shot.
He's also like,
people have eyes.
Yeah.
He's also like, intimidatingly hot. I think that's part of it too.
That's one of the
aura
reasons.
And the intimidatingly hot, and it's like Buck is also very hot, but he also has like the aura of a puppy. So between
just Buck and
please
Eddie,
approach me and pet me and tell me I'm a good boy.
Between Buck and Eddie, Buck is absolutely the most approachable one by like leagues.
Yeah.
This is why we have puppy and cat, black cat specifically.
Golden Retriever, black cat energy, the best combo.
Yep. All right. So the next thing on our queer Eddiemaxxing list is Eddie's look when Ravi asks, how can you be so bad at this? Now, unpopular opinion, because clearly
not with us,
not with you guys, but with the fandom. Like, I kind of have my own interpretation of this whole thing. And bottom line for me is that I don't think he clocked gay Eddie at all. And I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, he clocked him. He clocked Eddie's tea. Oh, Ravi knows.
Ravi is not like, oh, that's a gay man. No, he is not.
He is not Scott Hunter.
No. So like, what I do think, and I think this is where I can agree with fandom. I think we all agree that he did clock that he needed to stop talking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That he needed to drop it, because like that face that Eddie's making is like it just gave me like it's either a glare or like just like a just stop talking, drop it.
Yeah.
But it also
if you know what's good for you, like,
just shut
it.
up. Yeah. And like it kind of reminds me of like how they were when Ravi was like in his probie days. Like I think mostly because of Ravi's reaction, because he's kind of like taken aback and it's like, okay, I need it, like that nervous probie Ravi, you know, from like season 4, season 5, because they would get on him too for certain things. I think I think it was Jinx actually that I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
But anyway, to kind of like, I guess, debunk it in a way, is that Ravi wasn't present when the 119 had a whole conversation about how bad Eddie is at dating. Like, or
that was 617,
which
right?
was 617. Love is in the air. So he just doesn't know. Like, he didn't know that he was bad at it. And I think that's apparent because, like, well, actually, let me go through my list.
You have notes.
I have notes.
This is your PhD thesis.
Or
one of them.
I'm always writing PhD theses. So anyway, Ravi's Eddie knowledge is limited to what he's heard in the gossip mill of the fire station, anything Eddie may have told him personally in the past, and anything that Buck has told him, like the stories like in 811.
Like at that bar. Which is probably a lot, honestly.
Yeah. I think if he knew that Eddie was that bad at dating, I don't think he would have asked why he's so bad at this. And like, I feel like if he did actually clocked gay Eddie, he wouldn't, or rather shouldn't have said, let your wingman fly in like the subsequent scene, right? I think because, and honestly, like I think I can even go like further with like the implications, because it's kind of like Ravi testing out a theory, even maybe, and it just, I don't know, it's kind of icky to me. The other thing is like his image of Eddie, probably, because like I know this is like maybe like a top bottom like discourse type of thing with like what kind of underwear guys wear, but he kind of mumbles to himself like, oh,
wait, isn't there a meme with
yes,
like,
there was there was
all of the types of underwear and like
yes. So he says, I pegged you as a boxer briefs kind of guy. So like he has a certain image of Eddie that was painted by like the 3 things that I listed. So I think he thinks that Eddie is like some cool straight guy.
Yeah, when he's a deeply gay loser.
Yeah, exactly.
But because he's gotten so much of his perspective on Eddie, I would say primarily through Buck.
Oh, yeah.
And Buck thinks Eddie is the coolest thing since sliced bread.
Unreliable narrator.
Yeah, exactly. So that informs Ravi's view of Eddie, and it may not be the reality.
But I think he's taking notes, right? So like
sure.
The surface layers of Ravi's image of Eddie are like getting peeled back like a fucking onion over here. Buck, on the other hand, can't see it because he's doing the Comp-Het Tango with Eddie. So
yeah, I definitely think Ravi did not clock, oh my God, this man gay. No, but I think he was taken aback and surprised with like kind of the response in that look that Eddie gave him after the, why are you so bad at this? And it was like, oh, this is surprisingly a sensitive subject that I just
walked into.
Yeah, it's like Ravi realized that he kind of detonated like a landmine or got pretty close to it and was like, I am noting that for later and I'm backing up for now, but like that is definitely going in the mental.
Well, yeah, Eddie gives him this glare, which is like, please shut the fuck, please stop. And like Ravi does immediately, but he goes through this like journey of emotions that's a lot of like, oh shit, my bad. But like he looks like he feels bad.
Yeah.
So I really do think it's like he noticed something is awry with this situation, but he wasn't like, this man is gay. It was something like, I stepped in something and I don't understand what it is, and I'm not going to try and explore what it is in a fucking nightclub.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to brush that off and like move on. But it's probably also like not a kind of response he's received from Eddie before. And especially because like he's gotten so much like closer and more comfortable with both Buck and Eddie. It just like really took him by surprise. So he's definitely taking notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does not have anywhere near the full picture of, you know, all of the queer coding, all of the gay shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this would happen in episode 9-10, handle with care such an interesting title. But like, I don't want to say that that's what's happening because of the title or anything. I'm just saying it would be funny that they chose this title and like for some reason, maybe they do revisit this note. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's what it seems like they're doing, is like setting up something to like, again, put a pin in it, because everything with Eddie is like from this episode was like, put a pin in it. Unfinished, we're coming back to it.
Yeah.
So it seems like the whole like, why doesn't he want to date? And why was he so upset when Ravi asked him why he was so bad at it? Like that we might be revisiting both of those things. So
and just another quick note on Ravi, even though I know this is for Eddiemaxxing, but like relevant. I think because we are learning a little bit more about Ravi and we know that he can be very in tune to others, like empathetically, like how in 905 he stayed and did the Ouija board with Buck because it seemed like Buck just needed a friend around. So like Ravi is pretty observant and empathetic and has some really good like emotional intuition there. So I think this is just gonna be like sitting in the back of his head. And I wouldn't be surprised if we revisit.
Wouldn't be surprised if he does clock it because he's observant. And also it took him like 5 seconds to like just understand everything about Buck. I would say that at this point, like Ravi understands him, you know, like third best on this show.
Yeah.
Out of everyone.
Like Eddie, Maddie, Ravi.
Exactly. Back to queer coding Eddie stuff. There is this line from the club where Ravi's like, let your wingman fly. And Eddie says, my wingman's a kamikaze. Where I was like, was this a subconscious comment about Tommy? Because like his wingman, Tommy's a literal pilot, got stolen by Buck after a strike against his ankle during a scene where like the Top Gun music was playing.
The basketball scene was an homage to Top Gun.
Yes.
Like, with the boys.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Come on.
So like, I was like, is this just like a subconscious or one of those like Freudian slips where it's like he's acknowledging that Buck torpedoed his homoerotic friendship with another man? Because like
the shoe fits.
Like Buck has never literally gotten involved in his romantic life in any other way before, other than to be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't stay with Anna. Well, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a kamikaze. The stuff that he's done before has been good advice to be like, this is messed up. Stop doing that, right?
A lot of it was advice of how to end the relationship,
right?
So
we've never seen him.
There's a thread there.
Exactly. So I was just like, very interesting comment. My wingman's a kamikaze. And the only context I can see that fitting is like in reference to Tommy. So super interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, does it also apply like if his wingman is also telling him to stop, like the stuff with Anna, the stuff with Kim, the stuff with...
No, that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to like kill the relationship, but like not in the sense that he's referring to it.
Yeah.
The line that Buck says before he goes and flies as the world's worst wingman. Actually, no, wait, this is after. After he comes back and he's like, whoops, I misread her eyeline. And Eddie is like, whatever, you want to go talk to her. And Buck's very earnestly like, I'm your wingman. I'm not going to leave your side. And Eddie like whipped out hard eyes in the club. So that was a thing that he did after showing just zero emotion whatsoever to all of the hot women.
My God.
Your stupid, gigantic bisexual friend who is a man looks you in the eyes and says, I'm not leaving your side. And you blink with hard eyes up at him. Okay.
The most expressive we see Eddie in the club is actually when he gives Buck hard eyes and is like scoffing at how Ravi said, yeah, Tommy's choice. And Eddie's like a giddy little schoolboy.
Yep.
That is those two moments are the most he emotes in this club. That's the most fun he's having. That's it.
Yep.
Both related to Buck. Wow.
Then in the gym, we have Eddie leaning forward on the bench, asking Buck which one was more mind-blowing. Because he's like, they were both like, it was kind of mind-blowing. He's like, which one? And to me, that was giving like, what's it like to see a guy? Like, is it different? Like, what does it feel like? Like that trope of like person who is in the closet being curious about what it's like.
That's absolutely what that was giving a little bit. It's like a little curiosity to see which way Buck was leaning, but also maybe a little bit of subconscious curiosity for oneself. And who better to ask than your very out bisexual best friend,
who's all of a sudden very stingy with details.
Everybody knows about Buck's sexual exploits.
Except for Eddie. He got stingy with the details as soon as Eddie was around.
There was just an episode, and I don't remember if it was a season 9 one or season 4 rewatch one, where it was like, Buck's like, yeah, well, everybody, my sexual or history or dating history is so much more interesting. Was that a season 4 thing?
Season 4.
Yeah. So it's interesting. All of a sudden he's a little like, ooh. I know we'll get back to the club, but I just thought it was so interesting that Eddie is the person having, well, one of two people having the most contact
on screen.
Actually, yes. This is no Fade to Black, but Eddie is having the most contact, one could say, with people's genitals. How else do you want me to say that in this episode? Because he is the one to palpate, which I didn't know that was what that was. So thank you for teaching me words. He palpates Van Pelt with the
that guy's name serious.
I know. No, that is absolutely a euphemism as well. The guy with the chastity belt. And then Eddie helps deliver and do the ECV, or he's turning the baby in the womb of Cecilia, giving birth. So like he's all up in there as well.
He's all up in this.
Professionally. Why did I give this bullet point to myself?
I literally asked that silently when you started. I was like, wow.
Because you like when I'm the most awkward about it.
Yeah, it's funny.
No, but it is. Thank you. I live to entertain. But like it's interesting because this is all like very purely professionally. It's on the job. He doesn't have an interest in doing so.
Nope.
Like being intimate with anyone outside of work. And then you have that juxtaposed with Buck, who's doing that recreationally. But it's also kind of interesting because both Buck and Eddie kind of get the same amount of quote unquote action, because with both of them, there's a man and a woman there. And it's just like, it's this weird, like parallel mirror thing that's going on.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
So when he's told to like palpate Van Pelt, I can't call him that. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
Ivan.
Yes, when he's told to like, check him out. No face, no question, whatever, just goes and does it, right? When Hen looks at him and says, you have to glove up, he looks at her like he's about to walk to the gallows. Like,
oh.
Which I think is more like, you want me to do this medical procedure that I've literally never done.
Yeah.
And this woman is giving birth. We're in the field.
But it is interesting.
That is funny.
that there's more hesitation with the woman than there is the man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
So
he didn't want to get all up in there.
I'm really sorry. But yeah, it's just like there is this really weird like inverse parallel between Buck and Eddie and being intimate with people of both of like male and female. Like it's weird, but Eddie's is all professional because he has no interest in doing it like for himself recreationally outside of the job.
Nope.
So that's wild.
I just laugh when he is palpating. I look at Chimney's face.
We've never said this word so many times.
I look at Chimney's face. I know it's all professional, but sometimes I look at Chimney's face and I'm like, I know you want to laugh. I don't know if that's like he wants to bring character. Like,
probably
it's probably both. Like
it's
we've never put this man in this situation before. It's so funny. So funny. That was my comment.
I think if the choices are put Hen the lesbian or Eddie in charge of having to examine the man's genital area, I'm sparing Hen regardless of what I think Eddie is.
Yeah. So just jumping a little bit to the very end with Zane and Jade when Buck is basically breaking up with them. And again, in person. And, Jade gives this like look over to Ravi as like she's interested. And then Zane gives the same exact look over to Eddie. And Eddie and like Ravi is like kind of like, ooh, kind of interested. Like, okay. And then Eddie is just like becomes an absolute flustered mess, like Blushy McBlusherson. And just like, which is wild in and of itself, but to have those be paired shots like that. And then with the blocking, you see the entire spectrum of sexuality, right?
Yeah.
Because you have Buck in the middle and he's bi. You have Ravi taking one heterosexuality for the team. Thanks, Rav. On the right. And
okay. Fair.
Well, I think a lot of people wanted to like read him as like pan.
Yes. Oh, I will still read him as that in fan fiction. They're never gonna give us that in the show.
Mm-hmm.
No, but like for the sake of this shot,
yes,
he took one for the team, the opposite team, and then Eddie is on Buck's other side. So it's literally like gay by straight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like
it's the whole spectrum.
It's the full spectrum right there.
It's the Kinsey scale.
Yes, thank you. And to that point of Zane looking over at Eddie, it's like, how many times have we gotten queer men also who have just slept with Buck clocking Eddie, for some sort of queerness or hitting on Eddie, which, is weird that it's happened at least twice with Tommy and Zane.
Tommy didn't have to sleep with Buck. Like,
no, I think
Tommy
the
already been
counts,
knew.
but like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But he did make it known verbally.
Yeah.
After sleeping with Buck. Yeah.
So like, by that I mean
Hot
just
Priest
like
absolutely clocked him. I refuse to believe that man doesn't know.
Yeah. So it's basically
yes. I had a Hot Priest on the list.
Yeah, and
I'm
like
straight. I'm celibate.
That is not a sexuality.
It's okay. I'm not gonna do anything. You're still handsome.
I'm not
I can
look.
To you.
Yeah.
I can
as soon as it's like, oh, it's not someone who's actually going to try and hit on me. Now we're kikiing.
Yeah.
Now I'll blush when you tell me I have a handsome mustache.
Right. So it is weird that 2 of the 3 at least have been connected to Buck in whatever time frame, but it's like this has now happened multiple times. So it's
Stand up, bro.
I mean, gaydar is a thing, right?
He does not
Maybe
have
people
it.
should listen to it.
He does not have it.
No, but like
Buck?
Tommy and Zane have it.
Yeah, he's
Hot Priest has it. Buck doesn't have it because he's too close to it, so he can't see. It's like Eddie is in his
entire sanity is
blind
hanging on the idea that Eddie is straight.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no other explanation he gave other that Eddie is a renter, which makes 0 sense. So the only explanation is that just Eddie is straight. That's it. And he can't be in love with him because Eddie's straight.
So back to the club, we have Buck saying, everyone is here to be bothered. And I was like, except Eddie, who is just bothered to be here.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
So technically, yes.
Yes. And then we have this little like sub segment where we're just going to go through the numerous reactions Eddie has to Buck while in the club. Because his face is doing the most.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a lot of fondness when Ravi says, he's really warming her up for you.
When Eddie says like, here we go, he is like preparing to put on like performance Eddie mask. And we see that in real time where it's just like, the
annoyance when he says, and he's getting her number, and then takes a sip of his beer while shaking his head.
Mm-hmm. And then he has like actually a full-on grimace. Like imagine the emoji, that's the face he's making. And he slams his beer with a while he's still observing the situation. He's a little possessive.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's like some combo of, I don't know, I think this is actually a quintessential look that Eddie makes around Buck, which is like being fond and annoyed at the same time. So when Buck comes back over and he's like, I misread her eyeline, he's like, just
like, no shit.
Just like, I'm so annoyed by you, but unfortunately, I am also charmed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes like a quintessential Eddie Diaz bitchy gay face. It's this face. I call it his bitchy gay face. It's the same face every time that I say it. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just that's what it is. But he's making it while he points and says, "Why don't you just go talk to her?" Because it's like he's giving permission, but he will be annoyed if you take that option. He thinks that like Buck wants to go over there and he wants Buck to be happy, but like he's also annoyed because Buck made him come out there. He's supposed to be spending time with him, even if it's focusing on Eddie in a way that he hates. Like, it's still supposed to be his
About
time
Eddie,
with
yeah.
Buck. Yes.
Yeah.
This is time hanging with the boys, and then here Buck goes. Just
Yeah, it's like I said before, like if you put yourself in Eddie's shoes in here and you're doing something that you don't want to do, but you're only agreeing because you want to spend time with your friend because you're agreeing because you love them and they're saying that they're trying to help you with something, like, yeah.
and then they ditch you.
But if they ditch me, I'm gonna be pissed, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I don't know. It's just so relatable. Which brings me to the next face that he makes after Buck says this: "I'm not gonna leave your side." The crazy ass, heart eyes, motherfucker face that he makes here. It's just absolutely.
This is the gift that's going around.
Yeah, it's the gift
the
that
world.
Yeah, he's just so fun. And honestly, it's kind of like I mean, if somebody said that to me, like I would be like, "Oh, why do I have butterflies in my tummy?" Because like there's somebody that's interested you right across the room, but you're still gonna focus on me. I like that. So
it's kind of like Eddie is a little bit honored to be the center of Buck's attention. Buck, who is so charming and can get anyone that he wants just by like walking up to them, you know?
yeah.
And it's like, oh, he's choosing to spend his time with me.
Yeah.
I feel special.
And then Buck, right after he says that, says, "I do need to hit the men's room, though." And then I don't know, fam, like the face that Eddie makes when Buck says that, like when he walks away, is fondness, but exasperation that like Eddie has put himself in this situation he doesn't want to be in for Buck, and Buck keeps walking away from him.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is my life. And like I've said, it's kind of like resigned spouse. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I love them, but also I can't fucking stand them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Yeah. And then when Buck finally comes back and he's like, "I didn't buy them like the beers, Zane did." And then Eddie has this look on his face that I can only describe as, great, another person to take away the time and attention of my friend.
Yeah, he really just wants that attention for himself, really.
Yeah.
Especially if this is supposed to be about him, him, right?
Yeah.
Eddie is a little possessive. And like, I mean this affectionately, like he doesn't really get jealous.
No,
he's possessive and protective. He's the two people.
Yeah.
He is possessive and protective. Like Buck is jealous because he is insecure in that attachment, and Eddie is secure in the attachment. Like he's secure in their friendship. Like he knows where he stands with Buck. That like Buck is gonna go do whatever, date whoever, sleep with whoever. But at the end of the day, like Eddie is still one of the most important people in his life. Like he knows that. That's just a fact. So like the possessiveness is just like that's my person. So like they should any time that's taken away from the time they should be spending with me, I resent.
Yeah, kind of like in the like if you kind of connect this to the kitchen fight in 817, like because Buck is like throwing himself doing the like grief assessments and not really like actually sitting down and talking. Like that is time being wasted from Eddie where Eddie wants to have those conversations, wants to be
exactly
like there. So like, and this is like inanimate objects. These aren't people.
Yeah.
So that's even...
It's worse when it's people who he especially is just like, I know you don't deserve him.
Yeah. The next face that he makes is when Ravi's like, he's unstoppable because, we cut to Zane who buys beer for them. And then Eddie says, that's Buck. Eddie has his face. It's just endeared and enamored because like Buck is charming. Buck can have anyone that he wants. He literally just charms anyone off of their feet. And he literally does, like it's tied to that face that he makes when Buck says, I'm not going to leave your side. Like he's already like endeared and enamored, and it just keeps going because like that's what Buck does. He's so he is a charming person, and he can say the right things Probably without intention, actually. But and it just hits, right? So that's Buck. He's saying it with so much fondness and he's so endeared.
Yeah.
I guess just to summarize, for the Eddie queer coding section. So in our Eddie queer coding dating special that came out the same day as this episode, I
love that so much.
We talk about how Eddie always performs when he's reminded he should want to date women. But in this episode, we see the opposite. It's so interesting. He agrees to go out, but he never shows interest, not in the planning, not at the club, not in calling Jade attractive in the gym, nothing. There's no I am interested in women, finding them attractive, dating them, hooking up with them, nothing. There's no performance. He doesn't perform at the club. He doesn't pretend to want to get the attention of anyone there. Not once in this whole scene, let alone episode, did he act like he was interested in a woman. The only interest he showed, in fact, was in Buck's attention and Buck's dating life.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm introducing a new special section, whatever, called Buck and Eddie dancing the Comp-Het Tango.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest dance you've ever seen.
My God.
Yep. It's so performative.
My fucking God. Just for reference, you have to the main 3 episodes that I'm touching upon, because I obviously did not have the time to look at the Comp-Het Tango from the beginning, like we did with the Dating is Performing. The ones that I'm touching on, or the episodes that I'm touching on, are 705, 811, and this one. So 907. So and I think the Comp-Het Tango really does kind of it's very apparent in 705, but I think it's even more apparent after that bomb is dropped to Buck about maybe insinuating that he has feelings for Eddie. Because after that, what do we get? We get 3 things. Ravi as a buffer consistently. I might go out of order. So in 907, this was aggressive. Okay. Him trying to get Eddie to go out was very aggressive. And I'm saying it's aggressive, and why this ties into the Comp-Het Tango is because I don't know what made you think that it was okay to he's thinking too much about Eddie not being with someone.
Oh yeah,
he sure is.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
And Buck's thinking about it more than Eddie is thinking about it. Very plainly obvious.
Yeah. What, you just really needed this one little call about the chastity belt, and you're thinking about Eddie and how he has not
for the opportune moment.
What the fuck, my dude?
The chastity belt gave him a little light bulb moment, and it's yes, Eddie, because again, Buck can relate anything to Eddie. I mean, can't he? This Eddie did this.
Apparently, he's thinking too much about Eddie. Actually, okay. So he thinks he's straight, right? He
convincing himself he's straight.
I mean, that is what he's doing. He thinks he's straight, and he's oh, Eddie hasn't gotten laid in so long. And in his little brain, maybe subconsciously, and his big...
No, it's just so funny that Buck is thinking about that so hard.
Think about it.
Thoroughly.
If Eddie is off the market, is the point. If Eddie is off the market, he doesn't have to worry about his little feelings that he put in a box.
Yep. Because then it would be more of a shield, because it's well, I can't have feelings for Eddie because Eddie is with someone and he's with someone,
and it's
and
he's straight,
and would straight. Ruin that relationship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the straight thing is hanging on by a thread, but if Eddie's in a relationship, then it's he doesn't want to be a homewrecker.
I know that. Is haunting his dreams.
The scoff.
The scoff heard around the world.
The scoff is haunting him. And it's the fact that no one else knows about any of that other than him and Maddie. Because the most that Ravi knows is that maybe they hooked up, but all he knows is that he left him with Tommy.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else knows that he hooked up with him.
Nope.
So all of the implications that Tommy made, everything that's living in Buck's mind and poor Maddie's, but it's the points that he made did not go away. And now that Eddie's back and in his orbit and he's still not dating women and showing no interest in dating women, it's this niggling little worm eating its way through that little Eddie is straight portion of his brain. So he's well, I'll prove him wrong, and I'll take him out, and Eddie will be interested in women. That's what he does. He needs to get laid for his own health. I so think that, you're right. This was about him. This was not about Eddie. This was about
Buck. Was about Buck. Yes. Just like everything is about Buck. Buck is doing this He says for Eddie, but it is really for him.
No, which is how it turned into being about him so easily because it was like, you're showing no interest in dating women and that's not really helping my situation. Correct. So I'm going to go sleep with multiple people.
He's also doing the thing where, I mean, we already talked about this, but he kind of cock blocked Eddie.
He did.
Yeah.
You could have talked him up.
Yeah.
It could have been like, you could have just been like begged her off and been like, oh, I'm not out looking. Or he could even have lied and just been like, oh, I'm not single, blah, 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 blah. But like
my friend over there,
my best friend, Eddie, like he is. And just talk about Eddie the way that he
maybe
talks
not
Eddie
because
to, like,
maybe that would put her off.
I don't fucking know. Could have talked him up.
He could.
But he didn't attempt to.
It's easy to talk him up because this is Buck talking about Eddie.
Exactly.
But I'm saying like maybe it could have like given her signals like, you're a little too obsessed with this guy. Maybe you should
for sure. But I'm saying he gave no
he did
effort
not help.
Into it.
He did not help at all. So interesting.
There was no effort put in. The only effort we saw him put in at all was this woman is looking at you. Let me go plant the seeds or whatever. Sow the seeds. I don't fucking know.
Proxy.
Some weird.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It is a weird proxy, and it is Buck like subconsciously cock blocking it when he's supposed to be all about Eddie, and he's like, well, then he just kind of blows up that opportunity kind of without even trying. And this isn't the first time this has happened. He keeps pulling these people away from Eddie and then goes and dates them. And this has happened more than once because it happened with Tommy.
I'm going to go back a little bit. I don't know if we're done here, but I want to go back a little bit to the aggressive part. Mm-hmm. It was so aggressive that it reminded me. And again, Lindsay Bolio wrote both of these episodes. Well, she co-wrote 705. But
yeah,
I'm assuming that the thread was Lindsay Bolio with that aggressiveness, right? So like Buck has been, I'm going to have to say it, like he's been kind of acting a little bro-y with Eddie. And the last time I saw him do that was in 705 when Eddie caught Buck and Tommy on their date. Where he's like, we're here to pick up some hot chicks. Like since when? Like we talked about this in the Dating is Performing. Like since when do you talk to him like that?
Like he's overcorrecting and overcompensating so hard. Yep. Like the pendulum has swung all the way into like straight frat bro.
Absolutely crazy.
Oh, bro. And the Ravi as a buffer.
Mm-hmm. He's acting a little too bro-y. Before 8/11, he wouldn't have acted like that.
No. And it is interesting because I think through season 9 so far, we really haven't had Buck and Eddie off on their own.
No, we literally have not
at all
seen them alone together since the kitchen fight.
Yeah. Ravi is always there.
Yeah. Ooh, that's an interesting point. I had a thought. I was like, it's a complicated thought because I was like, is Buck naturally including Ravi or you know what I mean? Like including Ravi to hang out with them or
probably
I mean, I
subconsciously putting the buffer there.
Subconsciously putting
the
buffer. Yeah.
I don't
think
know
it's both,
if
honestly.
I don't know if I've given this little personal anecdote before, but
oh boy.
TJ and I were not the Comp-Het Tango because he's a man, I'm a woman, even though I'm bisexual. I did not know that at the time. We were doing some sort of tango where like we were really good friends. I knew that I liked him, but I was pretending that I didn't because I didn't want to like ruin our friendship.
Mm-hmm.
He kept asking me to do things that were date activities, and I would say great, and then I would bring along another one of our friends, and I did this for months.
You made it a group hang.
I did this for months. So I'm just saying, like, it could be conscious, it could be subconscious.
Yeah.
But like it's being done for a purpose. And I don't think it's because like he doesn't like love Ravi as a friend and like want to include him, but it's just like it's been just Buck and Eddie for fucking 8 years. So like why now all of a sudden is it Ravi's there too? For everything. Ravi's there while you guys are getting ready to go home. Ravi's there at the club. Ravi's in the gym. Ravi's there when you guys are getting ready to go home again. Ravi's also at the talk that you're having. Like, Ravi's always there.
I mean, this whole episode is all about, like, unexpected trios or threesomes, right? So
he's their third.
He is a little bit.
He does not want to be there. Like he's happy to be included and hanging out with the boys also, but like I'm sure it's gonna come to a head and he's gonna be like, oh my god, I need you two to get your shit together.
This does lead me into, I did want to talk about this and I forgot to put it somewhere because I don't even really know where it goes. But I did want to talk about the meaning of secrets, the title episode, like the title of the episode to Buck and Eddie individually and like together. So it's like, I think a lot of people just think secrets was about like a hen keeping secrets because like the rest of it doesn't really seem like a secret except for like maybe the husband and wife keeping it a secret. But we know better here at the Buddie System. We know that the titles are always like an overarching theme for everyone somehow,
and sometimes they're more subtle. Yeah.
So, the secrets for Eddie is like he's keeping secrets from himself.
Yes,
for sure.
There are a lot of secrets kept to themselves, like for a lot of characters.
They're both secrets from themselves, but it's also secrets from each other on Buck's end. So it's like with Eddie, the secrets I think are really just the queer shit because like everything else, like Buck knows. You know what I mean? Like all the dating history stuff, why he doesn't want to date. Like what else would be his secret? I'm asking genuinely.
That's it. Why he doesn't want. Yeah, it is.
It's a secret from himself as well as everyone, but it's a secret.
I think there is merit to this idea that it is a secret kept from himself that Eddie doesn't even fully realize.
No.
Because, and I think this is undermined because we get Cecilia and her cryptic pregnancy that she didn't even know that she had. It is the same thing. There's a...
my God, it's there. Oh, I didn't know that it existed 5 minutes ago, but I love you already. That's how it happens. I fucking hate it here.
Yes. We'll get to that parallel that I have.
Yeah, like, all right, put some theme work in here with like denial as a theme because... And I'll get to it in some of the other ways, but specifically in this, like Eddie keeping a secret from himself or keeping a secret that he doesn't even know that he has. With Cecilia, it's the same thing because of the cryptic pregnancy. And she at first is in complete denial about it. She's like, no, this isn't happening. No, this can't be real. No. And I feel like this is exactly what would be happening with Eddie, which I know we've talked about it before, but like it's that repression where it's just like, I was just looking at this article earlier. It's the Ryan Guzman interview with Sophia Soto for Yardbarker. It came out in like right before the season started. And he was talking about, you know, Eddie and Shannon and the Kim thing. And he said, I don't have the quote right in front of me, so forgive me. But Ryan said, like, that's the thing about repression. You repress it so much that you forget about it, that it's even there. Like that doesn't even occur in your subconscious. It's so deep in there. And I think that's probably what happened with Cecilia, where she just like didn't think about it because it wasn't happening because, you know, why would that be happening? And I think that's what's happening with Eddie.
Yeah.
That's the secret. And it's the secret that he's kept so locked away that he doesn't even know that he's keeping a secret from himself.
And with Buck, he's keeping that he hooked up with Tommy a secret. He's keeping that entire conversation he had with Tommy a secret.
We know he's keeping that a secret because they bring up Tommy twice, again, in a plot devicey way to allude again to these conversations and this hookup that nobody knows happened.
But the way that it's brought up proves that Ravi doesn't know what happened because he's like, it's Tommy's choice, right? That Buck's still single. It's not. Tommy wanted to get back together.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Tommy wanted to get back together now that the competition was out of the way. And Buck was like, what do you mean? My best friend is straight. I don't have to sleep with everyone I have feelings for, and I don't have feelings for everyone I sleep with. And then he like never called and apologized. Like he felt bad about it, but he didn't want to get back together with him. Like he flat out says that to Maddie. So that was his choice.
Exactly.
He could have called and apologized and tried to get back together with him, and Tommy probably would have.
Yep.
It really is by choice.
Yes.
And nobody knows that.
And nobody knows that's a giant secret because that's a giant fucking can of worms.
Oh.
I just want to say, like, I was gunning for having I guess like the Tommy mention
Yes.
It's so funny that they did do it, but not the one that I expected.
But not the way that you think.
Not where you think.
Yeah.
Oh, Madison.
So there's that secret, right? That he's keeping from everyone that isn't Maddie. And then there's also the secret of him being in love with his best friend that he's keeping from himself badly.
Yeah, he's trying to do it in the way that Cecilia and Eddie are keeping the secrets from himself.
Yeah.
But that one's not working out as well. Buck doesn't repress as well as
what
Eddie
he did
does.
in this episode is anything to go by, he's not doing great with it. Because then otherwise, what was the aggressive need to suddenly get up in Eddie's love life, which you've never inserted yourself into before like that? What was the need to like make sure that he dated someone or slept with someone or hooked up with someone?
It's the classic, and maybe this is just because I was rewatching Bridgerton season 3, but it's the classic, like, let me help you find someone.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm in love with you actually, and I don't want you with anyone else.
Oh my god,
it's the same thing.
Oh, we need to undo the belt. We need to like, you need to stop, like, you know what I mean, right? It's like we need to get you laid, or we need to get you looking at women. Oh, I think this woman's looking at you. Oh, she was looking at me. Well, I could talk you up, but I'm actually really not interested in having a woman look at you. So I'm gonna sleep with her and her husband.
It's like preventative jealousy almost in a weird way.
I don't think we have this on our notes, and I kind of forgot to talk about this in the Comp-Het.
We're off book now.
We really are, but like
there's so much.
I just
how do we even
there is so
it?
much. It's hard. No, but like the interview that just came out with Oliver from People.
I didn't read it yet.
Well, the part where he says, I don't have the full quote, but it's the part where he's like, yeah, Buck likes to do stuff for people. Actually, this was supposed to help, like he was trying to help Eddie with something, but then this fell on his lap, like and being a third. And I sat there and I was like, if Buck didn't go so hard in the Comp-Het Tango, like he brought this upon himself. Like, come on. I disagree.
It is almost like the universe like cosmically laughs at him every time that he tries too hard aggressively to make something happen for the wrong reasons.
Oh, like the universe is screaming at him?
Yeah.
Oh, the universe is screaming already.
Like, oh, you want to misplace your feelings for Eddie and date Tommy? Well, he's going to break up with you because you're in love with Eddie. And also you'll find out that you both dated Abby. Like, who else is this shit happening to?
Only Buck.
Oh my god, the Buck novella.
This is why Eddie's like, my stories are on.
They're gonna put a popcorn maker at the firehouse.
I'm pretty sure they already have one.
Shit,
I think
they
do.
do.
Like, I've seen that.
You're right. Or at least there's something that looks like one.
So yeah, it's definitely they're both keeping secrets from themselves, but Buck is keeping a huge secret from everyone, but especially from Eddie. Because how do you think that conversation would go if it got brought up and he had to explain it?
Not well.
Like, and he would be bumbling around but I'm not in love with you.
Oh my god.
Like,
how would he even broach that topic of, like,
I don't think he would broach it. I think he'd be confronted.
Well, no.
That's the thing.
Well, okay, not broach, but like, how would he even explain it and like figure out a way to talk around certain points about it?
I don't think
you can't.
It's good, especially with Eddie, who can read him so well.
Yeah.
That's a
be like,
fight.
bullshit. What did he actually say? What did you actually say? And this is why I want Eddie to run into Tommy at a fucking grocery store or something.
Not the grocery store.
And say something that like isn't giving away like what happened or even them hooking up, but just giving away enough that Eddie's like, I have questions.
Yeah.
He
confronts Buck, and I'm just like, I know we pointed out this thing where like Buck always learns about big Eddie things from anyone except Eddie, and it's not always the same way around. But like, what if they?
It is now though, because like we even started that in this episode. Well, actually, we started it in 705. It's not big things yet, right? But he's like, you know how I've been trying desperately to like make this recipe correctly, and everyone's like, no, you literally haven't said anything about it. Like, you think that would be something that Eddie would have, or sorry, 905, that Eddie would have heard about it regularly if they were normal right now, but they're not. And then it's like, you haven't looked at a woman in a year. And Eddie's like, neither have you. He's like, untrue. So like,
But
there are
not the
things
point,
that's
yeah.
going on in Buck's life that he doesn't know about. Normally he knows everything.
Mm-hmm. So how is he going to find out about this?
I was thinking about how, like, maybe this all did start from 705 when, like...
Yeah, it all comes back to 705.
Oh my God. But yeah, like, you know, him hiding the fact that he was on a date with Tommy and hadn't...
Yep.
And he was, like, agonizing over it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know we just keep saying 705 a lot, but like the title just like popped back into my head.
You don't know me.
Which is the You Don't Know Me.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Lindsay Bolio,
Lindsay.
I need the address. I need to know where I can send you the, like,
You need to send the flowers, the edible arrangement, the chocolates. Okay, so anyway, finally, let's get into some breaking buddy news.
Like we haven't been doing that. This is just buddy maxing. We're buddy maxing, y'all.
All right, my favorite thing about like certain like directions of like where you're looking at, which is actually kind of funny when you think about the Buck misreading the eye line thing. I should have I just thought about it as we were talking. Yeah, Buck, you are misreading your eye line actually. So
yeah, wait, this is connected.
It's connected because so Buck in this episode, he sees Jade, thinks that she's looking at Eddie.
She's not.
She's not. But Buck is like, Eddie, 9 o'clock, eye contact. Eddie's actual 9 o'clock is Buck, who's
must have misread her eyelash. I fucking hate you, Evan Buckley. I actually hate you.
No, it's so crazy because the only way that Jade could be at 9 o'clock is if she's at Buck's 9 o'clock.
Correct.
And Buck is looking directly at Eddie.
Oh, they're also up close and personal. That's another thing. But I mean,
so like Eddie is his 12 o'clock and Jade would be Buck's 9 o'clock, but Eddie's 9 o'clock is Buck.
Yep.
He's about to have a new squatter in his walls and it's me. And I'm just going to be like, you're in love with Eddie.
There's room in that attic. Hey, like
he really be misreading. He's not looking. He is so blind.
He just be subconsciously saying shit, though. Eye contact at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I know. You're staring right at me.
It's the eye contact at 9 o'clock and the eye contact being Buck and the, oh my God.
It's also, it ties into 818 seismic shifts when they're at the building collapse and, you know, Eddie's radioing in, basically saying that he's here. And like, Buck is like, where are you? Like literally like looking around. And then Eddie has to be like, I'm right in front of you, bro. So like this agenda continues because they keep missing each other. They're right in front of each other. What are we doing?
I'm going to eat my own arm.
I feel like I just blew the mic.
No, it's so crazy because we said in our 8, 17, and 18 or season wrap or whatever it was. We've said since then. I know. We've said since then that right in front of you is going to be a significant line. And there has been so much intentional visual blocking of scenes where Buck and Eddie are right in front of each other. Literally in the locker room where Buck is like, yeah, you should
staring at each other.
Yeah. When Eddie is like, oh, it's so nice that two like equal freaks like found each other, and Buck is right in front of him,
and he's like, you would say that,
but it's again, it's so much of this like right in front of each other, and they don't even know, and also tied in with right in front of you, the eye contact at 9 o'clock, also from 9:05 with Eddie talking to Abuela right after they left church, where Abuela was like, you were just looking in the wrong place. Again, it's the same thing. And that whole conversation is not about God. It's about love. Like, does it get clearer than this?
I'm really stressed. I feel like a vein is popping in my head because of these two fucking idiots. Like,
it's so obvious. And I
think I'm getting a headache, actually.
I'm so angry at Buck right now.
I'm just like, get it through your thick
I'm
skulls.
so angry. He's so close to knowing. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
See, he's the problem right now. Like, Eddie's fighting actual demons, and Buck is just like, I need you to be straight. Like,
Buck is just bees in the head.
it's like, what if we went out and you just reminded me that you're straight? Thank you. Anyway.
Also, like, the universe is going to bring you someone special also ties into this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't remember if we mentioned it. We probably did. At this point, I don't know what we've mentioned. But, like, this is the first time that, like, I think Buck has met someone organically and not on a call. To someone's organically and not on a call.
He had to tell them that he was a firefighter because they didn't know. Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's like, you finally met someone organically, but not on a call, but they're a bunch of freaks.
Negative.
No.
Derogatory. And not because they're poly.
The universe is laughing, actually. The universe really is laughing.
Non-ethically.
Yeah.
Non-monogamous.
Your special somebody is right in front of you. You're just not fucking seeing it because you continue
you don't want to.
You don't want to. And because like you just kind of like it's kind of like shiny toy. It's like, oh, someone's paying attention to me. I have to get with them. My dude. My dude.
Which like Buck was getting closer at the end, like we talked about.
Oh, he's getting close. He knows now.
Yeah.
After this experience, I'm sure that whole experience.
I'm gonna start crying. I'm so angry.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. So then we have Eddie at the club saying she's not even looking at me because she wasn't. And Buck says, that's how you know she's interested. And I was like, there's something about them not looking at what's right in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And always looking at each other when the other one is looking away.
Uh-huh. It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to add there that we haven't already said.
No. Okay. This is a little different. This is some meta commentary, but it goes in the Buddie section because it's about Buddie. But it's meta because it's about Tim and the Buddie fandom. So I'm gonna need you to like let me hold your hand while I walk you through this. First call. There's the quote, "Some pleasures are best left delayed." And I think about that quote, and then I combine it with the quotes that we have about Tim, about Buddie that we just got this week, Oliver about Buddie that we just got this week, and Ryan that we got right before the season started. And I'm like, sounds familiar. All right, there's a lock. All we need to do is get the key. And like what's behind the lock is gay Eddie and Buddie, right? Because we already have bisexual Buck. He swallowed it. The fandom swallowed the key to free them. Why did he swallow it? Well, the initial reason was Tim had to swallow it because of higher ups at Fox. But now we're swallowing it because we have to wait. Because again, at the top, some pleasures are best left delayed.
Your thesis of this is that this
do you need me to say
dynamics? The dynamics.
It's the DS dynamics. Yeah. No.
The Buddie fandom is
Tim Minear is the dom of the Buddie fandom.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Which is ridiculous, but actually so fitting.
Yeah. It's like, why did he swallow it? Because I made him. Because Tim made us. Because first Fox made him, but now Tim is making us because, well, now it's his choice when it happens.
Because they pretty definitely got the green light for it.
Oh, for sure.
Just like,
and he wants it to happen.
You'll get it when I tell you you'll get it.
But also, it's like he's going to do it when he wants to. Because again, I'm going to point to the thesis statement. Some pleasures are best left delayed. Wait, and you are? Simone, VP West Coast Sales. Also his dom, Mr. Van Pelt, my little dirt boy, and Tim Minear, 911 showrunner, executive producer, and writer. Also our Buddie dom, and Buddie fans are his little dirt boys.
Oh my God.
Listen, you both encouraged me. I was like, am I crazy or is this?
No, it's
about this.
They're inherently,
yes,
there is a power dynamic between a showrunner and the audience or the fans. So like, you're not saying anything that isn't true. It's just hilarious laid out in this way because of how it was illustrated in the show. Like, it's hysterical, but it is kind of apt because us, the fans, are at the will of the showrunner and the writers to like give us what we want, but we don't have any control in when we get it or how we get it.
Yep.
But we put our trust in the showrunners and the writers and the people in charge to give it to us as they see fit.
Let me finish these last two lines and then we can make it sound better. Simone, why? He's a jerk to you. Let me just remind you that Simone is Tim. I think this can also be translated both ways because, like, why does fandom let him lead us around if he's so mean to us? Why does he still want to do Buddie if we're so mean to him? You know what I mean? Because, like, people are like awful about Tim 9 Year Online.
Oh yeah,
I don't think he much cares. Like, he is just making the show that he wants to make. He loves Buddie, so
and he's earned the right to kind of do what he wants. He's been in TV so long and successful TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like,
and then the quote that I think is what kind of ticked me off to this entire thing is he gets as good as he gives. So I took that to mean like we, the cumulative like Buddie fandom, I mean, kind of excluding people who like do the like Tim hate, whatever. But like we give as good as we get. It's a symbiotic relationship. Like everyone benefits from the delayed gratification in the end. But the brats are always going to complain to the dom, even if they're ultimately going to be happy with what they get eventually in the end.
Yes.
That's it. So
I mean, it makes sense.
I just took that quote from Tim Minear in this scene and was like, Pepe Silva, I've connected all the dots. I've connected shit. I know exactly the message that you're trying to send.
Yeah, I think it's very clear. Just like best things are worth waiting for.
Yeah.
Which I think is what he was really indicating.
Yeah, which is just like in all seriousness, because this is like such a silly, goofy episode overall, and that scene is just so unserious. But I think really just like at the heart of it, it really is just like it's a slow burn. They're trying to tell the story with care.
Yep.
In a way that it honors the characters, but still stays true to the format that they're in.
Yeah.
So, you know, just like I can't say that. I was gonna say strap in, like get ready for the ride.
No, you should say that. Yes. You're going full send with the rest of this. You might as well. In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
And then I guess just to wrap this up with something actually directly Buddie related in canon, is Eddie saying something about two perfect weirdos finding each other is inspiring. And I would just like to say thank you for the Buddie Freak for Freak shout out.
That's what this was.
Yeah, no, it was.
This whole
it was like, we see that you're freaks and that you like every fic is tagged with freak for freak. We raise you freak.
It's not that freaky.
It's not that freaky.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean?
No, and the whole thing about Eddie saying that M Buck is still right in front of him. Like it's just, yep.
I was just gonna touch on it, whatever. Touching. There's a lot of touching going on. But
ooh.
My chastity belt metaphor and parallels and symbolism, or maybe this is the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, actually, I've got some parallels and symbolism for y'all.
Parallels and symbolism. All right, fam.
Buckle in. Strap
in. So we start this fucking episode. Okay, look, TLDR, like Buck is saying that Eddie has his chastity belt on because
of the mind,
of Chris, of like all the things that's preventing him from actually going out and getting laid. Buck doesn't have one on right now, but it's just funny that throughout the entire episode, Eddie kept his on technically. But by the time we get to the part where they discovered that Zane and Jade may have been siblings, Eddie looks at Buck and he's like, "Oh, Buck, you know what you have to do." And so it's kind of like Buck now has a chastity belt on because he's gonna go. So I think there's a interview with Oliver where he's saying that up to a point, because like all of these interviews and all of these quotes that come out, like it's up to the current episode that they're filming technically. And so what they know of the story going forward. I think maybe around 9/10, 9/11 is when this like interview came out. And he says that Buck will not be dating. Basically is what he said. He's not going to date. He's going to be focusing on his friends and his family.
So interesting.
It's so interesting. I know Hen is going through some stuff, but there's also like, I think that Oliver did talk about upcoming scenes with Christopher. I'm in the belief that they shot a lot of Christopher stuff way early in the season because of logistics and the fact that he's in, elsewhere.
Mhm.
So maybe we are going to get some of that. The family aspect is Chris and Eddie and Hen.
Yeah.
So like we could probably incorporate some more of that. Anyway, all of this to say, Buck and Eddie both have chastity belts on, and basically like they have the key to each other's chastity belt. It's basically what I'm trying to say.
Would you say love is the key to open their thighs?
Oh,
I was hoping you were going to say that. Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh,
And if you want more about that, you can listen to our Showgirl special where we also talked about literally Buck and Eddie having the key to each other's hearts and other things in the song Wood.
She can't say any words. It's so funny. And other things.
But it's also so funny because this episode had Eddie literally like clunk clunk knock
Mhm.
like
no. Oh my God, why did nobody make an
Oh my God.
Someone can do it and they'll like replace the sound.
I need someone to do that so bad.
Wait, foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
That Buck was the one who like got Mr. Van Pelt out of his chastity belt.
Yes.
So Buck was the one to unlock it,
Mhm.
but Eddie was the one to remove it.
Mhm. Oh, he lubed it up too.
Yeah. I thought about putting that in the euphemism and I didn't. Because I thought it was too obvious. Too funny. Should we touch on it again or just
I don't
leave
know.
it?
Let's just go. We have so much to.
This episode is so funny. It's actually unhinged with what they've put in here.
I don't know. It's also just like kind of interesting, kind of going back to the gym scene where Eddie is saying, you know what you have to do, which is put it back on, which actually equates to breaking up with them. It's just,
You know what you have to do? Lays down, spreads its legs.
it's such an
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
choice of words, choice of shot, choice of everything.
Choice of blocking.
Yep.
You want me to get laid? Do it yourself, you coward. Like,
It's like, obviously those people aren't working out for you.
But you know who's working out with you?
Hey, I hate it here so much. Yeah. So anyway, once they finally take those chastity belts off with the key that I know each of them has, because they are the keys to open their thighs.
Thanks, Taylor Swift.
I don't know, something delayed gratification. That's it.
Yes,
The end.
because it's a slow burn.
Yes, because it's a slow burn. Yeah.
Yep.
I guess like since I'm here and I'm looking at where I am in the notes, Buck, buddy, my dude, brother in Christ, you are not the only one that uses Chris as an excuse. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You do that a lot too. And one of the very prominent ones is actually there's two that I can think of right now currently because I can't. There's too much going on. But like in 809, when he reveals that he's going to sublet Eddie's house so that he doesn't have to worry. And Eddie's like, oh, you do that for me? And he's like, and Christopher. You didn't have to say Christopher, my guy. You didn't have to. You did it for Eddie, okay?
He was kind of using that as a shield. Like
He was.
wow.
Yeah. The other thing is actually a little bit more minor. It's when I don't know. I'm pretty sure Eddie would have eaten all of the fucking cookies he made. But he's like, yeah, I made you some protein cookies so that you don't fall asleep on the way to Texas. They're full of energy, no sugar crash out. Protein cookies. Chris ain't eating those.
Yeah. No.
He's like, make sure
No.
you save some for Christopher. He's not eating those, Buck. And from my understanding, you're not a great baker.
No.
Literally the only person that likes anything that you make is Eddie. My God.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't even know.
You can talk about 201.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good.
All right. So walk with me, everyone. Walk with me.
We're walking. We're walking.
Just like I gave you the metaphor for like Eddie and rebirth. Eddie is birthing himself out.
Oh, God.
In Eddie Begins.
Lord.
Eddie
Yes.
Begins. Yes.
Our
Still
favorite
haunts.
metaphor. My favorite metaphor.
the pregnant lady called, or the cryptid pregnancy, is pretty reminiscent, or it really feels like I'm watching the grenade call all over again, just with less tension, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, some of the things that, like,
Are you calling this baby a grenade?
okay, like, it's just very similar with some of the lines. It really stood out to me, and I was like, oh, this feels like 201 for some reason. I don't know. Starting with Maddie saying to Cecilia,
Cecilia.
with Maddie saying to Martin and Cecilia, during the call, Martin says, "Oh, we met on an app," because Maddie's telling him to, like, check to see if the baby, to see if she's dilated, and Maddie's like, "Well, you're about to get a lot closer," and I was like, 201, hello.
Never know.
We're about to get real close.
Cecilia's like, you okay with that? I mean, Maddie's like, Cecilia, are you okay with that? And she's like, do I have a choice? So it's reminiscent to the dialogue. So, like, Bobby's like, Buck, you don't have to do this. And then Buck's like, you think I'm going to let the new guy have all of the fun? Besides, you wanted us to bond. We might end up real close. So, like, in this metaphor, like, the grenade that's stuck in the guy's leg that I completely forgot his name is basically the baby that Eddie has to get in there and turn.
No, because there is, like, a turning for both of these two, which is odd.
Yes, because and Eddie says during the grenade thing, the grenade emergency, that, like, the grenade is not meant to be turned or else it goes boom, but he still does it to get it out of the guy's leg. He does it a little bit, slightly. I know you guys are having so much fun with this.
This is great. The best thing you've ever said on this podcast.
The baby is a grenade. But there are similarities to be drawn.
No, but it's such a good point.
Yeah.
But I'm just laughing because I'm like, either Lindsay Bolio is deranged or we're deranged.
It's both. I don't know.
It might be both. Who wrote 201? Tim.
Yeah.
Well, we know Tim is still
in the writer's room. He's just, like, giving notes. Yeah, I need this to be like this, actually. Anyway, so Buck is holding the box to receive the grenade.
I was about to make a joke, but
I'm
not.
so sure you were. And during this call with the cryptid pregnancy, Buck is like he was standing, like, around where her head was, and then he came around over to cut the umbilical cord. And so, like, it kind of equates the same thing, because Buck is waiting for the grenade to receive the grenade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To like, not detonate, but to, like,
I don't know. Diffuse the I don't know.
Cutting the cord.
Diffuse. I don't know. But, like,
diffuse the grenade.
I guess it's an interesting choice that they used, that they had Buck to do that, because Chimney was right next to Eddie. I know Hen didn't want to do anything because of her hand or whatever, but, like, Chimney was also there. He could have cut the umbilical cord too, you know, but Buck had to walk around and actually get on his knees.
They could have had Martin cut the umbilical cord.
They could have had Martin do that, but
they could have literally had anyone. So I think there is something very interesting about the fact that, like, Buck was the one cutting the umbilical cord. Something about, like, Buck and children, maybe potential, like, future allusions to, and
then he's just like, can I ride with, like, he's, like, basically already into parent this child on the first date, which is also very fucking
parallel to 202
and Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate it here.
Yeah, because, like,
no, Martin is Buck and Cecilia is Eddie.
Correct.
Like, completely.
Correct. Yeah, because it's kind of like in 202 when Eddie reveals that he has a kid, and he shows the picture to Buck, and Buck is like, oh, I love kids. He's an adorable kid. And it's just very, like, similar to kind of like when Cecilia finally holds her baby. She's like, I didn't even know that you existed, but I'm in love or something. But, you know.
Yeah. And Eddie's like, I love this kid. Sort of thing.
And yeah, like, I know Chimney's talking about the baby and, like, meeting your child, but like it's also kind of like that's just how it happens. Like love can be instant, right? And that's kind of like I feel like Buck and Eddie also, or Buck, Eddie, and Christopher, because like he sees him in a picture, right? But Buck sees Chris in the picture that Eddie shows him. But then like there's also that other look that he gives when he watches Chris and Eddie reunite after the earthquake.
Oh yeah,
and he has that like
it's like instantaneous, like love of some kind.
Yeah. It's crazy here.
Am I pulling at straws?
I think I'm pulling at straws, but at the same time,
you are not. Okay. There are no straws. This is completely intentional. I guarantee it. Tell me if I'm completely off base here, but something about the way that Martin was like, do you want me to go with you? And this is the best first date I ever had. Or like the most interesting, I forget his exact warnings. I don't know. Maybe it's because it was like in the back of an ambulance. Something about that like made me think of Thomas and Mitchell. In like the you don't find it, you make it sort of thing, where like, I mean, there's a little bit of a you find it thing here, but it's like you make it because he made
it's the
like
experience,
the decision
right?
to it's like these shared bonding experiences, and also the choice to like continue that story a little bit. I don't know. And
no, I don't think you're totally grasping at straws, because like I think like when you parallel the Cecilia and Martin date and like Buck and Eddie and their like the call that finally like brought them together, I think if you kind of compare it, like so Cecilia and Martin were on their first date, they met through an app, and the experience got them to get a lot closer to the point that I think we can infer that they skipped the dating phase and he was ready to be co-parent. And then Buck and Eddie met at the fire station for the first time. The dating app, I'm going to call that Bobby.
Yes.
Because he picked like
Bobby was score 1 for the algorithm. Bobby was the algorithm.
Yep. And it took Buck and Eddie half a shift to get real close. So
yeah.
So both Martin and Buck decided to baby trap themselves.
Oh yeah.
Like immediately.
Yeah.
Yep. So just to kind of touch on, I know we haven't really been touching on a lot of like themes for the season 9 episodes, but just like I think it's interesting to point out that there is quintessential to this episode in multiple different ways, a coworker / boss versus like more intimate relationship theme going on here, because you get that with Ivan and Simone, where he's her boss, but she's his dom. You get Hen and Chimney, where they're like balancing friends versus Chimney is the boss, and like how to operate on that, and just kind of like threading, like dropping the breadcrumbs of, you know, having that overlap of someone you work with, but also someone you're in a different kind of relationship with, which I think is good lead to Buddie. There's also, I mentioned a little bit about like this theme of denial or abstinence, kind of obviously. So like there's a chastity belt, which is like a forced celibacy. Cecilia hadn't had sex in 8 months. Buck or Eddie neither had sex or looked at a woman in a year, and this is by choice. And then again, that denial that Cecilia was having a baby, that denial that, you know, Eddie is denying himself joy. That's been an ongoing theme for so long. We talked about secrets. We kind of talked about the tidy whities.
Well, the tidy whities, I do think, I don't think we said it, but like he's directly calling, he's like, you're wearing a chastity belt. And he's like, those are tidy whities. No, but like literally he was wearing tidy whities in the episode where it was all about denying himself, right? Denying himself joy. So like that was just such a direct, like, I don't know if Eddie was hee-hee-ha-haing at that actually inside while he made that joke.
Probably.
Because that is only something he would get. But yeah, the tidy whities thing was definitely a callback to the denying himself joy.
Part of that denial.
Yeah. So it made the chastity belt thing very apt.
All right. Welcome to Euphemism Watch, where we point out all of the things that were hilariously double entendred in this episode.
Well, it's probably not all of them.
I think there are more that we could point out, but these are like what stood out to us.
It's 2 days after the episode aired, guys. Like, we're doing our best.
Yeah.
Like, I've done 2 extra watches of this, like with more.
We have 11 pages of notes.
I don't even know what page we're on. First up, public flogging at the office.
At the very opening, well, almost opening of this episode, it's like, oh, another public flogging that could have been an email. Like the writers knew what they were doing, especially because this is going into
practices had no idea what was going on in this episode.
No, they had no clue.
This vanilla person ever reviewed it.
I will say just a brief tangent, specifically because we're going to be talking a lot about the chastity belt call.
Mm-hmm.
The sneak peek preview of this episode was part of the chastity belt call. And I think usually it's like a 50-50 shot of watching those ahead of time of the episode is going to hurt or help or just be neutral to your experience. This, I think, was an excellent choice of a preview clip because it made the watching of this so much more hilarious, because we knew going into it that this was already a dom sub thing. And so from the jump, when they start talking about public flogging, it's like, oh my God. We knew already.
They released that on Thursday morning-ish, and it was right before I went into a meeting, so I watched it and then immediately had to be professional for an hour. It was awful. And then immediately when it was over, I was like, okay, meeting over, what the fuck?
I thought I was hallucinating.
Yeah, so I think this is one of the very rare cases, and whoever chose this as the preview clip, wonderful job. Keep that coming, because this really, having that extra insight and context really added to the experience of watching it.
It's better than anything else they could have chosen, I think. Because it was enough to be what is going on in this episode, but didn't spoil anything that emotional or the most funny thing about that scene. You know what I mean?
It
brought us as the audience in on the joke.
Yeah. Also, it was Eddie palpating the area. So that was also kind of
oh, we're in for this kind of episode.
What are we doing?
Yep.
What are you making him do? What are we doing?
What's going on?
And I know he's delivering a baby soon, so what are we doing?
Yeah, so the public flogging is very obviously connected to the dom sub theme here. Also, just the fact that it's a faucet company. Could they have
pictures of the faucets, the water coming out of it all over?
Yeah, could they have picked any product more phallic? I think probably not. To get past standards and practices?
Standards and practices? No. Probably not, no. It just seems so innocuous if you just
oh, how boring, they sell sinks. Well, in the context.
This is one of my favorite 911 what's your emergency lines, which is he blew a gasket, which is, listen, just so funny because of the faucet pun, but also because he literally cannot blow his load. That's why he has an emergency. So he can't blow a gasket.
Also, the thing about the sinks with it being chrome plated and all that stuff,
God,
relating directly to the belt.
Yeah. No one's getting squeezed harder than me. I can't fucking deal. So funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Chimney say, "Buck, grab the grinder," because I'm sure there was nothing else he could have called that in that situation.
Not the buzzsaw or something. It had to be the grinder.
I had to tell the bisexual one to get it too.
Mm-hmm. This one is visual, but I need anyone who is listening to go back to the episode and just visualize it. So there is a particular shot and the blocking. Now, I think the best way for me to describe it is if you've seen Heated Rivalry in episode 1, right after they're in the showers and it's the locker room and Shane is on the bench trying to tie his little shoesies, and Ilya comes up with the towel and blocking and that blocking where Shane is basically right in front of Ilya's crotch.
Yeah. No, Eddie's right in front of Buck's faucet.
It's this exact blocking with Eddie leaning down over Ivan to check on him. And who is behind him? Behind Eddie's head is Buck in the exact same positioning. Come on.
It's so funny. Wait,
It stood out to me.
He was addressing Ivan.
Yeah.
So it's the exact same blocking, which in heated rivalry is being used as foreshadowing for what's going to happen. This is completely tongue in cheek.
Something in cheek.
Hey, 911 editors.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Love all of you involved in this episode.
One of my favorite lines is Ravi saying, I pegged you for boxer briefs.
They had to use that wording.
I
imagined you as a boxer briefs guy. No.
Well,
No.
that would be
I
just as
pegged,
bad.
I pegged you for boxer briefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
We also got a little like masochist Eddie or like DS
Illusion?
dynamics, like
Yeah.
like punishment reward with like this whole conversation that Buck starts in the locker room, but like it's specifically the line where he's like, "You're punishing yourself, Eddie, and I think some part of you enjoys it." Was that necessary? Hey, no.
To really drive home his point about that mental chastity belt, yes, it was necessary. I don't think he realized what he meant.
No. No, because he's also out here like, look, I'm going to go talk to her. Seed the ground.
Why?
No, Buck, please. No seeding. Don't seed.
Which is kind of exactly what ended up.
Also, like, foreshadowing, don't do it! Because,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
Anyway, not crazy,
Mhm.
but, you know. Next one is I'm Buck. You wanna what? When he introduces himself to Jade. That's so self-explanatory.
I wonder how long they've been holding on to that one, honestly.
I know, right?
And it's so funny because a lot of times when I'm editing our captions for our promos, it will turn Buck to
Buck.
and-
To fuck.
yeah, and I have to be like, no, Buck with a B, not with an F.
Well, don't worry. When I'm doing text
It's like fucking
or
Eddie.
speech to text, it likes to make Buck book, Buck fuck, Buck this. Bug also.
Yeah, so it's just really funny. You want to what?
She was
does.
ready. You're catching. Does Maddie say this to Martin? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. When the baby
Mhm.
catching the baby, but also you're catching.
Speaking of pegging,
Speaking of pegging. Hen saying it's everyone's first today. It's your first time, Eddie, to turn a baby around and getting. I don't know.
Mhm.
First pregnancy.
I mean, that one's a little more innocuous.
yeah,
but
but no, but with the intent, it's everyone's first time. So
Mhm. Then I love this one when Eddie and Ravi are looking through Jade and Zane's Instagram, and I think is it Eddie or is it Ravi
Ravi.
that holds up the picture? Ravi holds up the picture of like the Williams family vacation or whatever, and it's a very obviously photoshopped picture of the two of them, but oh, what's in the background but the Eiffel Tower? I bet they
Glorious
like to go to
episode.
Paris a lot.
they would have loved to take him to Paris, take Buck to Paris.
Yeah, they're really disappointed
Rip to
they
their
didn't
dreams.
get to. They're really disappointed they didn't get to go to Paris with Buck.
yeah, they were treating him like a sugar baby.
It's not a bad deal, but they didn't tell him.
I feel like
at
there's a
first,
lot
though.
more like obvious euphemisms, like especially with like the pony riding and shit that
Ugh.
she said, which was just
Mhm.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There's a lot more. I'm
These
sure.
are the
but
highlights.
those are some of our favorites. I think.
Yep.
There's just so much here.
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about Buck as Eddie's wingman, but I just wanted to, I guess, touch on it in this way where it's like a wingman is a partner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, we love talking about how Buck and Eddie are both looking for an equal partner. That's like what they're searching for.
Yep.
And just like the way that a wingman is also like a Top Gun reference. And that connects to, again, the 704 basketball game where it's like where that entire game was an homage to Top Gun. And it's very homoerotic. But it's also interesting because this is not the first time that Buck has come between Eddie and someone to prevent Eddie getting closer to them. So like almost like he was cock blocking rather than wingmanning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just interesting that it's like, yeah, I'm gonna wingman, and then ends up, taking that person basically off the board for Eddie. Weird that it's happened more than once.
Yeah. And I think we said this, but like I do just want to mention like it is foreshadowing the Buck saying, I'm your wingman. I'm not going to leave your side, because even though he does leave Eddie's side he always comes back to him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're spouses.
And I made this
Yes.
I made this joke earlier. Text thread while we were talking about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, they've been practicing ethical non-monogamy for years. Actually, no, wait, it's probably not ethical because the girls don't know about it.
They don't know, like Buck and Eddie don't know that this is what they're doing, but like,
but it is what they're doing.
But it is what they're doing.
It is what they're doing, because it's basically like they know they're going to like come back to each other eventually, but they get to go out and like sow their wild oats or their seeds or whatever, I guess. And then, you know, come back home. And it's funny because that does kind of tie into some of, you know, Buck's jealousy with Eddie sort of stuff, but like Eddie's possessiveness and not really jealousy, because it's just like, yeah, it's so funny because that is what they're doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like especially during this club scene, I kind of have a little bit of a read where it's like, again, to me, Eddie is kind of like bitchily being like, you know, you go talk to her if you want, basically. So it's kind of like Buck can have his fun with whoever he wants, just as long as he like comes back home to Eddie, because at the end of the day, like what they have is honestly like a lot more deeper than past relationships, hookups, and all that stuff. So they're in it for the long game.
I mean, when it works, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the last thing in our Buddie section for this episode is just our what if or Buddie Forecast.
So kind of like looking ahead. Going back to some pleasures are best left delayed. It's a slow burn, baby. Just say yes. You know, they are playing the long game. And it just made me think of a quote, especially with so much focus on Eddie and Buck, like trying to find people or not trying. There's a quote from Ryan Guzman from US Weekly. I think this was like right after season 8 finished. I think or just around, this was like during the upfronts week. And he said something to the effect of, I think the next relationship for Eddie should be something life-changing, that it just throws him off for a loop. And I think we're really setting this potential up very well.
Yeah.
Because he has no interests. And we know this verbatim and canonically. Again, just reference our dating is performing, queer coding, whatever we titled it. Special.
Eddie Diaz, queer coding, dating, parentheses, good luck, babe.
And like another thing that Ryan has said, like I don't have the direct quote, but like what Buck and Eddie have now is what makes it like enticing. It's just very similar word choice that Tim used in his recent interview from this week before the episode aired about like the possibility of Buddie being enticing. So I guess a little bit of maybe foreshadowing. The not gonna leave your side quote from Buck honestly like just made me think NDE for some reason. Cause like what if he does leave his side and like something happens to Eddie, or something happened to Eddie and it's kind of like he's not gonna leave his side like at all. Like I do picture a shooting arc for some reason for the most part. Although he did leave to go tell Christopher, and then Taylor came in and all that happened in 414. So
we're picking up on the vibes.
Yeah. And my little forecast is, I don't have a timeline for this, but I think that we may be locking in for gay Eddie on the menu for this season.
The menu.
Yeah. Like I think it's a real option. If you asked me at the beginning of the season, I was like, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Something's gonna happen.
May happen.
I'm like, wait till the buddy half.
And something.
We're in the buddy half now.
Yeah, but like we didn't know if it was going to be focused more on like Buck and his feelings realization or what. But this episode combined with 905 seems like a 1-2 punch, very pointed we have a direction, we know exactly where we're going, and we are laying the pieces down for you to follow. And it's not just like in a crazy people like us who makes several hour podcast off 42-minute episodes, like general audience members who watch it one time and can pick up on it. So it just seems very like eminent, like a so close you can almost taste it, if you will. Like
release your inhibitions.
Yeah, it's just feeling like, I don't know. And I'm not normally the person who gets like this. So the like the thing about
you're
me being like, not just like, oh, we need it to happen soon, which is not normally something that I'm saying either. It's just kind of like, I'm like, I feel like it's happening soonish this season.
Like sooner than we even maybe expected. Yeah.
But I still don't think it means Buddie Kid in this season.
No. But we're one step closer.
We're setting up the pieces on the chessboard.
I mean, here's the TLDR of what's on the menu if we get Gay Eddie this season. Then on the menu is a lot of angst, a lot of pining, a lot of requited, unrequited, requited. The will they, won't they, but like with
intention.
One of them knowing, or maybe both of them knowing. Like that's when the real like juicy stuff for the audience happens. Like once the audience knows.
That's where the yearning
That's where the yearning happens, like for the characters for knowing, but also for the audience to yearn along with the characters for it, just the general audience, not just us. Because it's like once they realize, then the audience will realize, and then the audience will be like, wait, he's gay and he's bi, and like they're like, why wouldn't they just be together?
It's gonna be the same thing as Eddie in 705. Wait, Tommy's gay. The general audience is gonna be like, wait, Eddie's gay. It's like, yes, we've
and then
told
they're gonna
you.
be just like putting together. They're gonna be like math GIF putting together all of the stuff with Buck and Eddie.
Weird. And some people are gonna be like, yeah,
that's weird.
But we're gonna be like, no. It doesn't change anything for us.
Well,
I mean, it changes things for them, but it doesn't change for us. Anyway.
But yeah, I just like, I see the vision. I don't really like see the vision as in like, I know what the fuck is happening, because I don't. Like, I'm just really enjoying the ride.
We're tapped in.
I just feel like it was already such a good fucking season start with the first 6 episodes. And they could have literally given me way less crumbs in this episode and I still would have been happy. So I think the fact that they gave us so much means that they're really working towards something.
Yeah. I think the way I was kind of thinking about this episode was that there is so much here and we are really diving kind of deeper than we probably need to with a lot of this stuff. But it's only because they've given us so much material to be able to do that with. Like we're drawing the dots and the parallels and stuff because of what was presented in this episode. And it's like, that is with full intention.
Yeah.
So it's on the menu. They're cooking.
All right. Well, I think that leads us to our best buddy appreciation.
Shout out to our best buddies on Patreon.
Thank you so much, Erin, Alexandria, Amy, Eveline, Freya, Niall, Jade, Jules, Kitty, Quincy, Maggie, Persephone, Poppy, Renice, Shayla, Stephanie, Vera, and Zachary.
We're about to start a mini segment they voted for. Buddy DS Dynamics.
It's exclusive to the Best Buddies tier of Patreon.
So if you'd like to vote on and hear special mini segments each episode
and get a personalized shout out, subscribe to our Patreon.
Okay, this brings us to our Into the Looking Glass section.
All right, so season parallels. So especially with behind the scenes that came out on January 11th. And so we think that Hen's arc, now that she's got this illness or mystery illness and she's been benched off of the 118, it could be similar to Buck's season 3A arc with the lawsuit and tsunami lawsuit. Just basically Buck being benched also because he had the pulmonary embolism and taking blood thinners and all this stuff. Thank you, Jill, for bringing that up or pointing.
Yeah, she kind of sparked the light bulb for us. I think that's going to be a really interesting aspect to explore because we've kind of seen something similar with Buck when he was not able to do his job in season 3. I think that also brings some interesting Chimney and Bobby parallels here because Bobby was the one that was preventing Buck from coming back into the fold and to the 118 to do the job even after Buck had like cleared things. And with Chimney, he's the one that has to make that call of benching Hen or suspending her or whatever it ends up being, and kind of warring with himself in the way that he is both her boss and her friend. And I think it's going to be similar, but in a different way, because Bobby was being very protective in a very fatherly sense to Buck in kind of a detrimental manner. Whereas I think we mentioned earlier, Chimney did make the right call with this, and the situations are a little different. So it'll be interesting to see like how that'll play out and what we can like compare and contrast in early season 3 for that.
Okay, so what we know about what's coming next. So 908 is titled War. This episode is written by Molly Green, James Loeffler, and Silas Savard. It's directed by Bradley Bucher. 909 is titled Fighting Back. I don't know if we have a director. I don't see one listed, but it's written by Kristen Rydell and Lindsay Bulio.
Well, that might be Bradley Bucher.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe he.
I think I think we saw
if it's
him
like
on
a two-parter.
set.
If it's a two-parter.
If that was like for the rain stuff, I think it was Bradley Bucher on set.
Okay, maybe.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Then we have 910 titled, finally we got the title, Handle with Care. This one is possibly directed by Keith Tripler. He was spotted.
Keith Tripler is, I think, doing either 910 or 9.
Maybe 911. Sorry,
Yeah,
I actually have 9. Okay, Handle with Care. I actually have Bradley Bucher listed. So 910 will be directed by Bradley Bucher. And it's written by Christopher Monfett and Taylor Wong.
I'm so excited for
that. to see. I'm excited to see what's...
ABC is scared they're asking us to leave. We're so seated. They're saying this episode doesn't come out for 3 weeks. Please leave.
I don't think we have any details for 9/11 or 9/12, but 112 is confirmed as the crossover with Nashville, which would be airing on February 26th. I didn't give you guys air dates, but it's consecutive weeks for the other, like 9 through 11.
Yeah.
9 through 11, and then we'll have a 2-week break for the Olympics, and then we'll come back with a firefighter Olympics. Woohoo.
Yay!
Yeah. We think. We're pretty sure.
It's not we think they're doing it.
That's
firefighter.
I mean, they might not call it the firefighter Olympics, but
no, the fire. I'm talking about
firefighter
like, the
games.
dates for some of these.
I mean, we know about the dates.
Okay.
We know about the dates. They told us what date the 12th is airing.
Okay.
And
I forgot that.
Then we just did backwards math.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to get the firefighter games. We're very excited. We know that Buck and Eddie will be going over to Nashville to meet the 113. And we did get a little insight on some of the interactions that the characters might have from Rashad Raisani in an interview with TV Insider. So he did say that Ryan and Buck, Ryan Hart, this is going to get annoying. It's already confusing. Yeah. I know. So Ryan Hart and Buck will be a big one, like an interaction. And then he also said that Dixie might have something to say to one or two of them.
I'm so interested.
Please let it be.
What?
Please let it be spicy.
Oh, if it's Dixie, it's gonna be spicy.
We didn't get any Dixie in the last episode.
I know, I miss Dixie. And then there will be, I think, some Dawn and Eddie, which is interesting. I think that is something that we like mentioned is like that was kind of a given. And then Rashad Raisani said that Blue and Eddie and Ryan and Buck as his favorites. And I don't know if he meant like Blue and Eddie will be interacting and Ryan and Buck.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm assuming. So that's going to be real interesting to look forward to.
Excited.
I can't wait.
I'm still here. I don't care. I need my Eddie and Roxy crumbs ASAP. I do not care.
We will be needing that. Thank you.
Yes. And we know she's there in some capacity because they took a picture all together. So
yeah.
And Taylor. We just need her there. So a couple things to keep in mind. We got a few quotes from Oliver Stark regarding Buck and kind of like his storyline going forward as to where they were now-ish, which I think is around 9/11 in filming. And it's basically that we as the viewers shouldn't expect Buck to head back to the dating world again this season. And he said, I think that kind of scared him off a little bit. And he kind of goes back to focusing on the job and he's focusing on his friends and family. But he did go on to say that there's one storyline that he feels that he can relate to a little bit, where there's some doubt that comes into Buck's life about who he is and where he's going, as age does to us sometimes. So that is a little intriguing to me. I'm like,
existential crisis.
Yeah, like he hasn't had enough of those already, but but very interesting. Especially if age is playing a factor, because he's still a young buck.
It would be. I've never really like thought about this in general. I know other, especially like more, Buck fans think about it the most. But like, I was like, okay, maybe it is age. Maybe it could, I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting if they brought back like maybe that he's getting pain in his like leg.
Ooh.
Oh, chronic pain. That would be amazing.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I mean, like, not for him, but like for chronic pain sufferers, for the representation.
Yeah. I mean, look at what they're doing to Hen. So it would be interesting.
Yeah.
They all start falling apart.
Yeah.
But they can't quite do that yet. They got to keep going for another 11 seasons.
Gotta put those kids through college.
So I think before we get to our wish list as our, our sign off, we just have like one more thing that we kind of wanted to talk about, kind of surrounding like Tim's quote. There was a article about our Wee Woo show in the Washington Post, and they got a couple quotes from Tim. And listen, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard these quotes. We just kind of wanted to talk about it and then discuss something surrounding it. So the quote specifically that people keep pounding on in a negative way is, quote, "I love the Buddie fans, and I am one of them. It's different than heated rivalry, where that is the show. The show is about those two guys getting together. That's not what this show is. This will probably piss off people, but whatever. This is what I think. I think the possibility of Buddie is what's exciting."
Mm-hmm.
And the streets were pissed off.
The streets were angry.
The streets were pissed off.
So funny.
Yeah, we were not pissed off.
Mm-mm.
We've also been saying for a while now that the same thing, that they're not the same show,
No.
because the streets have been comparing 911 and heated rivalry.
It's apples and oranges. They're completely different.
Fam, there's literally, it's a fruit and a vegetable. There's nothing to compare here. Like, one is a mini series based on a book that is a romance that's queer, where they already have a happy ending and the story is already laid out from end to beginning, and it's going to continue to be a mini series, and there's going to be a set end in sight, right? Like whether it's with this book that Rachel Reed's coming out with now, the third Chimney one, whatever, there will be a set end. It's not going to be like, well, as long as the network, which it's not on, like cable.
Yeah. Because it's also straight to streaming. It's
Brave, HBO, straight to streaming. It's completely different genres. It's completely like writing, because like writing a romance, which is centered around two fucking characters and their romance with each other, is completely different than writing a procedural drama on a network that's running for seasons and seasons and seasons, but you also don't know like
where it'll stop. Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Like the storytelling is different, because it's, again, one is a romance, and then you have a very campy procedural where like the show concept is literally based around telling the stories of first responders, as in mostly focusing on their life on the job and what they encounter.
And that it's
Right.
an ensemble. So it's so many more people than just like focused on one relationship
Exactly.
or two characters.
Yeah. And there's romance on the show, but it's always a subplot, or it's always like, if it's like a main plot point for the characters, it's like one-off
it's brief.
episodes. It's not like drawn out like over a season-long arc of like a romance. You know what I mean? Like it's just worked into the show as like a normal part of people's lives.
And if anything, I think the only like couple that kind of had that was Madney, I guess. Like them getting together, right?
Yeah, but it was kind of, they were both baked in is the thing.
That too.
Like Madney was kind of baked in from the beginning. Like they hit it off right away. And like we know that JLH has said that she was like, what if Maddie gets together with Chimney?
Yeah, that was like part of the talk.
Yes.
So-
And we know that like Bobby and Athena wasn't like thought of from season 1 at the beginning, but then like once they thought of it, that was like it. So the only ship that actually draws people into the show that is a like,
Will they, won't they?
are these people ever going to get together, is Buck and
Yep.
Eddie. It's also the only two single main characters left. So the fact that they haven't gotten together is not really because they're men. It's because it's a procedural network drama, and it's the last couple that they can drag out this will they, won't they with. And they're going to do that because that's what network dramas do.
Yeah.
Think about Friends. Think about Bones. Think about literally any show where like it's a heterosexual couple where they drug out that will they, won't they.
Literally How I Met Your Mother, which is all about that.
Yes.
It was it was the last season.
A lot of people take things that Tim says in bad faith.
They do.
We're not those people. So there's like, I think 3 layers to this response. First layer is that everyone should remember when reading any response from anyone in press is that it's a press response, which means it's a PR marketing response, which means that it's worded to be as vague as fucking possible because they need to be as vague as possible. They're going in there to promote the show in a way in which they are trying to say things to get you to watch it. I think that's one of the reasons he brought up heated rivalry, because that's like what everyone is mentioning right now, because it's like the hottest thing out there.
It's a touchstone that like does make sense.
Yes, but also, yeah, his show is getting compared to it in his own fandom constantly. So I feel like he was well within his right to be like, this isn't a romance show. This isn't a straight to streaming romance show based on a queer romance with a happy ever after. Like, it's not.
It can have that in it, but it's not what it is.
Also, I think people thought that, I mean, I guess this is still very trust the bro, but people really thought that he had the the audacity to bring up heated rivalry. No, I mean, personally, I feel like because of this was editorialized, right? I feel like the interviewer, because heated rivalry is like the hottest topic out there right now, literally. I feel like they had to ask that question, like the comparisons between 911 and heated rivalry because of Buck and Eddie and Ilya and Shane. But
the thing is like also in that article, we don't know what they asked.
I know.
Some of the questions are included.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. I know it's not.
Yeah.
The author is a
author is a self-proclaimed buddy.
Yes.
Yes.
And I didn't really need to actually go to their Twitter account, but they said they alluded to it in their Twitter account, and
they say in the article, full disclosure, they think buddy should happen. Or that they are clearly in love with each other. I think it was Tim that brought up heated rivalry, which I mean makes so much sense.
I mean, again, we don't know if he was prompted with it in the question because we don't know the questions that were asked.
True.
So me and Rachel are in a disagreement here. I don't think Tim did, but yeah.
There's no way. There's no way of knowing. But that is part of his quote, and he is acknowledging that like these are completely different shows, that like you can't compare them in that way, which I think is absolutely valid and something that we've been
saying since heated rivalry came out, and people started making comparisons and being like, I don't need buddy when I have this, and I'm like, well, it's completely different things, folks. But okay, bye.
Like my dad asked, is heated rivalry better than 911? And immediately I was like, they are not the same. They are not comparable.
No. I think what I'm getting at, I guess overall, is just that like we don't think that this show is queerbaiting. Like by definition, it's really not,
because it's still in flux.
The thing is that they're still telling stories that keep growing with both Buck and Eddie's queerness individually and together. So unless they stop really delivering on setting that up, and they just like keep circling the drain without moving forward at all,
which is not what they gave us in 907,
which is not what they've given us, like, period.
Exactly.
So especially since moving to ABC.
Yeah. So I think the other thing that people are taking up issue with is this last part of the quote where Tim said, I think the possibility of buddy, and buddy is in like brackets, is what's exciting. So people are extrapolating from this that they're just going to keep teasing and they're never going to like follow through with it.
And they're going to do it at the last episode of the series. Yeah,
which one, you don't know that because you're not the ones writing it. And Tim did say, and this is not the first time Tim has said, I am one of you.
Yeah, no.
I am a Buddy fan also, and I write things that I want to see. So, I understand why people are taking this with, he's just doing that to, get on our good side. But, actually, I think it's genuine where he is, he likes writing it. And I do think, especially with this episode with 907, because there's so much to pull from, 905, 907, all of these things that we've been talking about this entire time is leading to a development of queer characters and a queer relationship. But he acknowledges, because he's good at TV, that's why he's been in this business for so long, that the slow burn, which is what they have been doing, is where you build that tension and you build that anticipation and excitement. And that's where some of that magic comes in.
Yeah.
So like he's not going to make it happen tomorrow, but he's building it in a way that is like satisfying.
And even if he was, he wouldn't tell you in a fucking press article. You would literally find out when you watch the show. Like, and no one's ever going to tell you if and when they're going to do something in these. Like, it's crazy. They could straight up also say, no, I'm never going to do that, and still do it. So,
yeah. It's really only queer baiting when, like, someone has said, yes, we're going to do it. Yes, we're going to do it. And then they never follow through on that. But because they aren't saying, yes, we're going to do that, they're saying we're aware of it. We like it. We don't know where the story will go. And the story isn't finished yet. That's not queer baiting.
It's also just like, guys, some pleasures are best left delayed. So just like,
for real.
I don't know. It was just funny to me that like everyone was losing their minds over this quote. And then this episode came out and it was like, delay your pleasure. Like,
I just think it's insane that we had this quote and then the episode came out and I was like,
he knows what he's doing.
He does know what he's doing, but I feel like I don't know. I think I just see. I'm on the observation deck. This is for Jill, but like, I think I just like kind of like look at things very big picture nowadays instead of like focusing on these like little minute details and like what they're saying and then trying to extrapolate like what kind of context they're saying it in and whatever. If you look at every single interview that Tim, Ryan, and Oliver has done, as of season 7 onward, it's kind of like they're telling you if you put all of those puzzle pieces together, you see that picture of what they're trying to tell you.
Yes.
I know Oliver said, "Do not fucking listen to me." Basically, is what he said. But like
his liar told you this,
or what was the other thing he said?
That's so him.
In the puppy interview, he was also like, "I don't think we should be."
We shouldn't be engaging with fandom and stuff. And it's like, well, Aisha and Ryan both said to that, like,
bullshit.
I think that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
So he was talking out of his ass. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. I think we need to stop reading these interviews and taking them like word for word, like this is what they mean, and stop taking them like in bad faith or reading them in bad faith. One, you're going to be unhappy all the fucking time. Like, why do you want to like torture your, well,
I mean, in an episode all about masochism.
It's between you and your sexual partner, not you and the fandom.
It's so weird. I don't know. Like, I'm
such a weird conversation.
I'm happy with what we're doing, what we're getting, reading these interviews. I read between the lines of what they're saying. And I don't read them in bad faith, and I'm not miserable.
Exactly. Like, honestly, and this may be because we are all kind of fandom elders, but the fact that consistently, like you said, since at least season 7, Tim, Oliver, and Ryan, when they have been asked outright about the potential of Buddie becoming a thing, which is like also just, this is a different conversation, but like the boldness of journalists feeling able to communicate and talk about ships, fandom ships in such explicit terms to the people who are portraying them on screen. That's like, whoa, what a different world we're living in than like 2013.
Right. They're not shutting it down at all.
Exactly.
They could turn down those questions.
That too.
By the way, they could blacklist the Buddie questions.
They've done it
before. They don't have to answer those.
Yep.
But the fact that all 3 of these people are consistently saying, I am a Buddie fan. I
love the love. I
love the love. I see the moments. I see the fan edits. I understand what people see in this. And I'm game if that's where the story goes.
Yeah.
That should be taken. Like, this is basically they're not going to say, yes, we're going to do it. They're never going to say that because that takes out some of the air and the tension.
But when you have both actors involved saying, if the story goes there, I'm down, and the person who's in charge of the story saying, I ship it, I literally don't know why we're dooming. Like, I don't know. We've been hardcore queer baited before. And
many times.
Derisive, very derisive, like bad faith ways. So I don't know, maybe it's just because there's such a clear juxtaposition between like how the people involved in the show seem to actually care about the fans and the story, as opposed to just like a fuck you, like I'm doing what I want. But I just think that like maybe some people could benefit from not reading the press or trying to look at it with a different lens. Because at the end of the day, they're not gonna tell you shit about Buddie Cannon in an interview. The most they're ever gonna say is this PR answer, which like to me, when I like still I'm reading between the lines, when PR answers start sounding very eerily similar, I'm like, oh, we've been into some media training together on how to answer certain questions. Why would that be?
There has been strategy put in place here to deal with this so that we're all on the same page and nobody spoils anything. But just the fact that they're not outright saying, no, it's never going to happen is momentous, I think, or monumental rather. And it's just like, they're not saying yes, because of course they're not saying yes, but they're absolutely not saying no. And to me, that's as good as a green light.
And it's completely different. Like if you go back and look at old press from like A, like before Buddie got shut down, or B, after Buddie got shut down and things were just blacklisted.
They wouldn't even talk about Buddie for years and years.
Yeah. And then like, I think Oliver and Tim specifically were like, they didn't want to answer questions because they didn't want to get accused of queerbaiting. So it's like the fact that they came back in season 7 and have always answered the questions about Buddie and not blacklisted them. I think that should say more than people are taking it to mean.
It tells you something for where their plan is to go, which I think is still very much in place.
Yeah.
And like they're acting on it. So
Oliver Stark, in a Deadline article that came out after the episode, said, Tim Minear, who writes the show, said in an interview a few days ago, he's actively a fan of the ship of Buddie, and he understands it and roots for it, and doesn't not like the idea of it, which I get it as well. I've spoken about it in interviews. I say happily that I see the moments that other people see, and you can see fan edits, and there's nice romantic music playing over the top of it, whatever it is. And you go, oh yeah, those do feel like charged moments.
He's said almost the exact same thing at least, no less than times. 2 or 3 other times.
Also, I'm just like laughing because I've made the joke before, I think privately, that like Tim and Oliver text each other after press interviews to go, LOL, I said this, what did you say? Because sometimes their answers just like compliment each other or like seem like they're fucking with us in a certain way.
Yeah.
Positive.
And I think I saw some people being like, oh, Oliver was sent in to like save face for the Tim quote that got everybody so up in arms. And it's like, no, this has been determined the thing that he's going to say. And he said this exact same thing multiple times. So it's like he's just reiterating himself. And it's like, how many times do these people have to like say the same thing for fandom at large to be like, I think they're okay with it? Yeah, so like Ryan said in the Us Weekly article that I talked about earlier, the interviewer asked, are you happy with Eddie's single status? Do you want him to explore a relationship with him more in the future? And Ryan said, Eddie's ready for the next thing to happen. So whatever that does happen, I think that should happen next season or so. I know he said something more specifically about like, if that's where Tim wants to go, he's okay with it. Oh, that was the Us Weekly. Yeah.
So after that, he says, that people want to see something to come out of the Buddie relationship, but I think that that's what makes it enticing. Something like that. Something around those lines. To keep it like that. And
it was like very much in line with Tim saying, I think the possibility is what's exciting.
Yeah. Or enticing.
Yes. It was like so similar because when I read Tim say that, I was like, sounds familiar.
Where have I heard that before?
They are all on the same page here. And I think that is like such a great thing because it means that they are a unit on this and there's a consensus here.
Yeah.
That has been agreed upon that we're not privy to yet.
It's being handled with care also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think I just also am like, if you really don't think it's going to happen, then just like ship it in fandom spaces and I don't know, wait until it's actually over and see if it's actually queerbait and then complain about it actually being queerbait.
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Yes.
Basically, have faith, trust, and pixie dust and stuff. But like The pixie dust is Tim, Oliver, and Ryan.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to wrap it up, our wish list.
Do I have to say it? I want a musical episode.
Connie Root said it for you. Just crazy.
Yeah, I like that validation. I appreciate that.
So?
Solidarity.
Oh, right. I want accidental baby acquisition through Safe Haven Baby.
Like, specifically, probably like way in the future.
Way in the
after Buddie
future.
is,
Yeah.
is established relationship. Although that quote from Oliver about like Buck having doubts about like what he wants in life and things with age, I'm like, is he gonna be thinking about fatherhood? So I don't know. That was just like on my mind, but I'm like, not yet, please.
I was gonna sound like a no-brainer, but like I told you, I'm like chomping at the bit. So like Gay Eddie post haste, like on my desk.
We've put our order in. It was on the menu.
It was on the menu. I put my order in.
I'm hungry.
We're just waiting for it to be delivered to the table.
Yeah, waiting for the DoorDash.
But literally.
Starving.
Yeah.
And then just putting this out there again, this is just on my mind, but I think we mentioned this in the post-episode live stream, like specifically after Buddie is canon, I would love to see like a B shift bottle episode where we get this outside perspective from everybody on B shift and like actually put some names and faces to names that we don't even have. I just think that would be a really funny thing to do.
Agreed. And then just a big thanks to all the freaks at 911 involved in weaving this into a hilarious and rich story, but also for being so smart and able to get it all past standards and practices.
Oh my God.
Like,
standing
ovation. That is true use of talent, and we appreciate it.
Using your powers for
freaky shit.
Evil yet good. Chaotic good.
Good.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yes. Remember, don't go to the club.
But if you do,
take a buddy with you.
Thank you for listening to the Buddie System podcast.
Can't get enough of the buddies? Subscribe to our Patreon for access to our Discord community, full reaction videos, and even more exclusive content.
And if you really want to make our day, leave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Please come yap with us on your favorite social media platform.
We're at Buddie System Pod everywhere. That's BUDDIE System Pod.
Catch you next time. And don't forget,
bring a buddy with you.